Shout out to LTTV. Shout out to LTTV.
Yeah, LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, let's get right into this one. We're continuing off where we left off from the last Just Pearly Things Getting Cooked video. Where we reacted to Jason Black cooking her. This video right here, and Oshay Duke Jackson. Today, or right now, we're just continuing where we left off in this video. The same marker. Anybody that called in from the last panel, feel free to call in. I announced this from the start of the week. I announced this in the last video. The mods. This is an issue with the mods because this is tripping me out now. It's just getting a little weird. I said that I'm removing all mods that were not members of the channel, at least at the chat pass level. The chat pass is 99 cents. It's just to distinguish who is an actual supporter of the channel and not people that come here trying to kiss ass for a little bit, get a wrench, and then they start wreaking havoc and timing out people and doing some fuck shit. So it's like it's you put your money where your mouth is. You don't get the participation trophy regardless of how long you've been here. It's just that stamp of you actually support. But I think that I might make a few exceptions for content creators, so I'll still have that in place. Outside of that, I don't think we're making much exceptions. Shout out to everybody that supports the channel, but you got to be principled all the way around. You can't really, let's get into this.
Younger women. We watched this whole clip. So I was just trying to basically apply it to your life if I can. It's like, so older men, when they have money, they have status, they're going to want a younger and more virgin woman.
Christy O, if you're watching this, please call in. I want to speak to you real quick. Can you please call in if you're watching this? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So I have a bit of a question, and I'm being honest here. Is it possible and you look at men, right, in terms of like their viability. You look at men and say, he's a high value man, he's a medium value man, he's a low value man, right? And we could say that. We can put men into those categories. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's say you're in the dating field, right? You're looking for a partner. Mm. Right?
What do you mean?
I mean,
Sorry.
you're single essentially, I guess, and you're looking for a significant.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
I'm sorry. What?
What do you mean?
I mean,
Sorry.
you're single essentially, I guess, and you're looking for a significant.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Okay.
So, if you're looking for men, if a man who is willing to settle, let's say you're not that old, but you're 26, and you say that anyone over 25 is like almost damaged goods or getting worse and worse,
No.
it's less valuable. It's less valuable.
Correct. Yes, I would
Yeah.
say I was more valuable 5 years ago. Yes, in terms of the dating market. Yes.
So, do you think that how can somebody who's older and not a virgin and less valuable, how can they get in a relationship with a man and not think they're a loser? Because if you're a low value woman, then in a sense, you be judging the guy who's quote unquote settling for you because he couldn't get a higher value woman. So in a sense, a guy that you would settle for would be a loser by your own metrics. Low value.
Well, what are men supposed to do? 95% of women aren't virgins on their wedding days. You could be a multimillionaire and not get a virgin.
How do you?
But I think that's why you see more men walking away from relationships.
No. How do you
Yeah.
enter a relationship and not think that he's a loser because he's low value?
I don't really know how to answer that question.
But it is interesting, right? Because in a sense,
Now, why isn't she able to answer that question? Because she doesn't want to get caught up in a disingenuous answer? Y'all hit the like button on the way in. Show support to the channel, y'all. Likes are free.
only a low value man, and I'm sorry, I'm only framing this in your worldview. Let's say a medium value man would decide to settle on somebody like you who's a little bit older, not as fertile. You are not a virgin. And also, I'll tell you something else. You like being in the foreground, which is not good for traditional marriages. I mean, he's looking for someone who wants to build a home. You don't know how to cook.
Yeah,
either.
I don't expect to be with like a high value guy. I think that's silly.
Okay. What's your
like when I think of high value, I think of like top 5% of men.
So what value do you?
So she's not trying to get a high value man. She's trying to compete and be that high value man, that modern woman that she hates, that she speaks against. She's pretty. We rarely know who she is, but she does it to herself. She's trying to be the high earner. She's trying to be the boss chick that she speaks against. She's just an aging commodity. She's not trying to settle down with anybody and have kids while she's still young. Like, what are we doing here, man? She's getting cooked.
Think you'll be settling on in your own personal life?
What value will I be settled on in my personal?
What man do you think is reasonable for you to pursue?
I just I think that's a bit of a inappropriate like question. But
Wild Seed. Everybody, all the content creators that were black that had her on a one-on-one outside of Hotep Jesus. So Hotep Jesus destroyed her. He cooked her way worse than Ethan did. But outside of that, who did you have interviewing her? You had Anton Daniels. You had Obsidian and a bunch of random clowns that were defending her on his panel. Who else interviewed her? Like, come on, man. You didn't have anybody that was really outside of Hotep Jesus. She did all the safe niggas that she knew that she was cool with.
Interesting, because you spend like all day talking about this stuff. I find that it's really interesting to have you put this analysis into use. Why is it inappropriate?
Because the way you're framing the question is a bit disingenuous.
How?
I think most women
How is it disingenuous?
Oh yeah, Tommy interviewed her as well.
He did that shit. Guilty as fuck.
Yeah, I think it's a bit disingenuous.
Why?
Okay.
Why? Why is it disingenuous? I'm analyzing your viability by your own metrics, which you do all day to other women and men. Why is that disingenuous?
I don't. Okay.
Like, I think it's fair to say, because you were talking to women about expectations and men about expectations based on their value. I think it's fair to say, okay, well, what's your value of man you're looking for based on your own,
What's my value to a guy that I'm
No.
looking for?
What value
No,
of
like
man?
I wish I don't know what you want me to say. Like I wish I was a virgin. You know, I should have waited.
No.
Like I don't know what. Like I don't. You know.
Perfect.
Okay, so now you're in the seat of the women that you chastise and try to cook every day, and now you are befuddled, perplexed, lost, and you don't know how to answer this question yourself.
Most guys don't expect that in 2023, unfortunately. I think men adapt to the market, but I think to say that you should just sleep around is a bit silly.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking.
Well, that you were saying that like that more partners is good. I think that's a bit silly.
No. Okay, but
I think
hold
it's
on. I'm
silly
talking
to
about
say
you,
like
Pearl.
that.
I'm talking about you. Your value by your own metrics is going to be not super high.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's less high than it was 5 years ago.
But it's not even just the age thing. It's like you are working. You're in the foreground. You don't know how to cook. These are not good things for your scorecard.
Hey, I'm actually pretty good now. I've gotten.
You have a cook.
Stop the cap.
Better.
Okay,
I've
good.
gotten
You're
a lot
working
better.
towards it, but unfortunately, as you
I've
age, those things are going to bounce out.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like you start in a certain place in life, but all you can do is improve and get better.
That's interesting. I agree. So, what is the point of telling people that they're?
Because a lot of times we're like we're lied to. We're not even told what men want. Being told that men want younger women is like crazy, even though that's
not true, by the way.
New.
That's not true, by the way.
Men don't want younger women. They want, okay, who's hotter? A 50-year-old is equally as hot as a 20-year-old, just based on looks and nothing else.
So, yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be.
Stop the cap.
A 50-year-old woman is as hot as a 20-year-old woman on average, bro. What are we doing here? We're not going to be disingenuous. Like, come on, man. Well, he's older. Maybe his eyes are different in the adjust. I don't know, man. This is cap.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, how do you meet a guy that you respect? Because he's settling on you. Don't you see that there's a paradox here?
I mean, if you respect men, you don't, like...
But how are you going to settle for a low-value man? It's like that. It's like, dude, come on.
A low-value man.
A low-value man.
I think if you get married, you're lucky to get married. That's my opinion. Okay. So I would feel very lucky. If I was married, I would feel.
So you'll take any.
So she's pretty much saying that she will feel lucky if she finds her
Beta.
nigga that she's gonna have to take care of. The low value man she's talking about, some loser that's just she's gonna wear the pants in the relationship. She's gonna walk all over him, giving this nigga wedgies and shit. Like, come on, man.
Anything.
No, I won't take anything. It's a bit silly.
Your standards are quite
I didn't
low.
say. That's not what I said, but okay.
You said I'll be happy if I get married. I don't, you know what I mean? Hey.
Yeah.
Anybody marries me would be great.
I didn't say to anyone.
Dusty.
How would you? So, where's your value as a woman? Would you say, like, on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give myself like a 5.
A 5? Yeah, that's fair. I think. I mean, based on your metric, I'm not saying one way or the other. Mm-hmm. So we're looking for.
I think I'm a 5.
So
you're saying that all men want to.
Now she thinks she's a 5. If you guys think that she is a 5, spam 5s in the chat. If you believe she's anything different, spam the rating in the chat. I'm doing this. I don't usually do this type of shit. We don't rate. It's not fresh and fit out here, but you know. Some people deserve this. So spam 5s in the chat. Spam whatever rating you think if you don't think she's a 5. Let's get it, y'all. Let's run it up. Let's see what we got here. 1.5, -5.
Jesus Christ.
Nigga said an adjustable 3. 0.5. Yikes. 2. Yo, these ratings are filthy. -5. Oh shit. Let's get back into this.
Have sex with younger women. This is kind of interesting data, but are you aware that the MILF category is like the most popular? It was the #1 most searched term in 2018. MILF.
Yeah, men like to have sex with older women.
But why is it the most searched for?
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Do you know why MILF is the most searched for? Because porn is watched by a lot of teenagers, and the only people that like older women are young niggas, young dudes. Why am I saying niggas? Younger men, young teenagers, dudes in their early 20s. Those are the only guys that like older women. Once they get to about 25, that shit changes. They want girls younger than them, not like R. Kelly levels younger, but younger than them, generally. But let's get back into this, y'all.
Yeah,
They're looking for MILFs, and when they watch porn.
Are you saying porn is the same thing as marriage and relationships?
You say men want to have sex with young girls. Why then are men, when they're fantasizing?
When you say young girls, that's a bit.
Okay, 22. I mean, what do you want me to say? Okay, young women, 22-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Why then are they going to Pornhub and looking up MILFs if they just want to, if they prefer? And this is the most searched. Wouldn't they be searching for like teen or something?
Now I already provided that answer, but what up E Black? What up D Lovely? What up chat? I'm not gonna shout out everybody, but what up to y'all?
2018, yeah.
You know, men aren't that picky. You know what I mean? They'll
No. It's not about picky. It's about preference. They look for the milk.
Okay, so I have a question. Why do you think like the #1, like they swipe right on younger women?
That's
Do you
just the thing
think
you
it's
said.
do you think it's equal, an 18 or 22-year-old versus a 50-year-old woman in
I
terms
don't-
of looks? Now I'm asking, do you think it's equal?
I should do a poll. Yeah, I should do a poll.
Are you equally attracted to the average 55-year-old versus 22-year-old?
I would be more equally attracted to someone closer to my age where I am in life, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I would
Maybe
say
like minus 5 years.
Yeah, but younger typically.
Now, why are we stopping the show right now? Because E Black is absolutely right. Look at them likes. Them goddamn likes look dusty as shit. That thumbs up is collecting dust. Not a single person has hit it since I hit this speech. Goddamn. Bunch of ghost watchers. Bunch of Pearl fans in the chat. Bunch of Pearl fans in the chat.
Let's rob that nigga, man. Yeah, son.
Ghost watching away. All right. Let's hit him with some elevator music, y'all. The bullying is not working today. You like this music? See, I like elevator music too, man. Fuck. Goddamn. I need shittier music. Ugh. Whatever, man. Let's get into it.
Not older.
Well, I
It's
mean,
interesting
plus or
that you
minus
said
5
that.
years.
Younger.
Plus or
Yeah,
minus.
younger. Right.
Plus or minus 5 years.
Okay, you said younger.
I'm running out of interesting ways to bully the chat for likes. I can't do it anymore. I'm running out of ways, y'all.
Younger first,
Well, I'm
but
telling you, plus or minus.
okay.
There's no take backsies. No take backs. You said younger. Yeah, but so how do you explain that?
Most women want to date 5 to 7 years older. I think men go like 5 years younger.
Is there any way to explain why MILF is the most searched category?
Guys like to watch, a hot mom have sex. Yeah.
More than a young girl have sex, apparently.
Are they the top porn stars? Because I thought...
It's simple demographics. They're not looking into it. This is what happens when people just take random stats or facts and just spout it out without understanding what the hell they're reading into. Look at the demographics of folks that are looking for MILFs. And then you'll see why MILF is the most searched. Ain't no 35-year-old nigga looking for no MILFs on Pornhub. Come on, man.
Those were younger women. I thought it was like the ones that, I don't actually watch that stuff, so I don't know.
I don't know the stats, but I'm just telling you based on search that people are looking up MILF way more than teen and stuff like that. So that is interesting, though.
Do you think it's better for a woman to get married at 35 than 22?
I think it's neutral. I think it depends on a lot of things. I do think women who get married young have a higher rate of divorce.
Anti-gravity 74, that is facts. All this stepsister, all that bullshit is one of the most searched shit. And then there's straight up, is that a demonetized word? I'm trying to stick around and work around it. I don't know, man. Let's get back into this.
Yeah, it's like below the age of like 21 or 18 or something.
E Black, what?
Come on, man. How did this happen? Who was the idiot that did this?
You're campaigning for the MILFs too now? So you like seeing older chicks? God damn.
We're in a different era. Get over it. Whoa!
Nah, man. I see these old babas on screen, man, and I'm like,
Hold up. What is this shit? You up here trying to get people thick?
ain't nobody got time for that shit. God damn.
I don't remember.
So that kind of disproves your thesis, doesn't it? If younger women are getting divorced,
I would say overall younger is better than older.
But if younger women are getting divorced more, and you're
the youngest, not younger. But we also wait to get married. The average age of first marriage in the UK is like 31.
Yeah, but our life expectancy is like double what it was, so it's not really a fair comparison.
It doesn't change biology. Like, so when it comes to children, like, women are still the most fertile when they're younger. So, we can have a cultural shift, but that doesn't change your biology.
Well, we have a scientific shift, too. And we have methods of making it easier for older women to have babies.
Mm-hmm.
Reese, that was a good grab. You ain't from the UK. Why she quoting UK stats like she's from the UK?
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
She's trying to avoid the American stats.
Yeah, so like the cultural shift is
You're
matching
talking about
the scientific.
You're talking about.
It's not just IVF. There's fertility treatments you can get. I've done it with my wife. It's less invasive. It's like taking hormones and stuff, and the science.
I can pull up the numbers, but the majority of IVF fails, especially over a certain age. I can pull it up. So I think it's expensive too. It's like the average IVF is like $30,000.
Yeah, most fertility treatments isn't IVF. There's less invasive, less impactful, less expensive things that you can do that are really effective.
Right. You can, but again, most people are living paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford a bunch of fertility treatments.
Okay.
Like, I think that's easy for you to do, right? You're in a great position in life.
It should be free. I agree.
But no, I don't think that you should pay for other people's decisions. I think if you want to make that decision, you should pay for it. But I just think that's an easy thing for you to say when you're in you do such great numbers. I'm sure you do really well income wise.
Thank you for saying that. We shouldn't pay for what other people do. Should we pay for prisoners or should we execute them all?
Those are my only options.
Well, we shouldn't pay
either pay for prison or execute them.
Well, okay, right. That's extreme.
Either the two.
In a sense, though, I'm trying to make it like somewhat.
That's a tough question.
Well, prisoners cost on average like $30,000 a year for the average prisoner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or even more now,
I think
probably
it's
like
significantly
40,
more. I think it's like closer to
45,000.
70,000 or something like that.
70,000?
Let me look it up. I'll look it up. So we
That's
have the right number.
crazy. Because the IVF is obviously way cheaper than that.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do about them?
To execute or put them in well,
Or what else? I mean, what would you do with prisoners? We're spending $45,000 a year. What do we do with them?
Yeah, the average is it looks like 45,000.
45,000. IVF probably costs like 10,000.
I mean, what are they in prison for? I don't know much about. This is kind of a different, topic, but I do think we should execute.
Well, they're all
rapists.
costing us the same amount of money,
Rapists
45,000.
we can execute, and murderers, yeah, we can. The rest, I don't really know. I don't have a strong opinion.
Well,
but
IVF,
in general,
say costs 10,000.
But I guess prison would make a bit more sense because you want a safe society, so that's something everybody benefits from. But I don't benefit if Susie down the streets waits till she's 35 to get married.
But then her family will be stronger. She's less likely to get divorced. The kids will grow up in a stable household.
Or she could do that when she's younger. Like, again, we're
right, but that's not how it works, and you know that. You look at the stats. Younger people are more likely to get divorced. Young people don't make as much money. Younger people have less time to spend.
What do you mean by young? So, like, I think the stat I saw was under the age of 21, but it's like above that, the divorce rate's very similar.
Do you think women under 21 should get married?
Yeah, if they want to. I think, people, I'm not forcing anyone to do anything, but I think more time you can spend with a husband rather than just like out on the dating market. I think that's better. I think less experience is better.
So here is an interesting analysis regarding men wanting to sleep with younger women.
The top.
So I've been trying to source that figure.
How old is Abella Danger? How old is she?
We don't care. Let me tell you. We don't care. Who?
How old is Abba?
She's 27.
27. That's pretty old in your world, isn't it?
Lana Rhodes, Riley Reid. Yeah, but that's not a MILF.
Oh, no.
I think, and for us, it's like 18 to 28.
Lana Rhodes is
26.
26. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, the most searched.
It's 18 to 28.
Just because they're the most popular doesn't mean it's the most popular category.
Also, their 26 is over the head.
I'm getting rich.
Right?
I got the top categories I have is ebony, lesbian, threesome.
I don't see any 22-year-old head large mainstream porn stars.
I mean, 22 versus 26. It's not that. Like, we say 18 and 28 is a woman's peak.
20. What is the woman's peak?
Fuck, yo, I'm tired of this muted shit, yo. Fuck, Nick, yo, the errors. What did I say? Did I read the super chat? Was I muted when I read the super chat? So I read the super chat. So what did I say after that? Huh. Why am I getting no and yes? Nah, yes, nah. Nigga, what the hell did I... Let me read the super chat again. Shout out to Anti-Gravity74 with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
The sigh and slowly answer things she does to sound smart is so annoying. And then I said everything that this bitch does is annoying. That's what I said, and I don't know what got muted, but let's get it.
Between 18 and 28. I mean, 28. It slowly declines after like 22 or 23. It slowly declines, but 18 to 28 is
and peak as in what? What does peak mean?
Peak like looks wise.
Okay, looks wise.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying this claim that men between ages 20 and 80 want to have sex with 22-year-olds. I haven't been able to find any source for that. The only source I've been able to find is from this book.
prisoners to work?
Say what?
Can we put the prisoners to work?
They already
Yeah.
do. Yeah, they
That's
do.
exactly what we do
They're
currently.
slaves already. They work for like 10 cents an hour.
Yeah, but only.
All due respect, shut the hell up. I want to hear that.
This woman just makes uninformed take after uninformed take. Like, just shut the hell up a little bit, read a little bit more, listen a little bit more, and shut the hell up. There's a problem with all these people on their platforms. Oh, I got 1 million subs. I know everything without knowing anything.
Profit private corporations, by the way. It doesn't benefit you at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good system.
You seem very knowledgeable on the prison system. I wouldn't call myself a prison expert.
Yeah, and that's fair. We don't need to. I don't expect you to be. So, in terms of sourcing, this claim that old men want to have sex with, not old men, all men want to have sex with 22-year-olds around that age. The only
Yo, what's going on with this guy, yo?
Who was on crack?
Like, he's having all these... Is he okay? Is he
in
sick?
terms of sourcing, this claim that old men want to have sex with, not old men, all men want to have sex with 22-year-olds around that age.
Yeah, I think he has a cold or something.
The only source for that I could
So
find.
they find that the most attractive.
The only source for that I could find was a book called
Can you look up
Catechism.
what's the Okay, yeah.
The way that these numbers are sourced is pretty poor. So it's not really that high quality of a source. But I'll read you the results. It does say that men 20 to 50 find 23-year-olds most attractive. But in the same study, it says, but women that men find they're most interested in are women of their similar age.
But they found the 23-year-olds the most attractive.
But not the most.
How did they source interested in and desirable?
I think
How
it
did
means.
they just ask them?
The whole
I'm just-
study
I'm
is
just
pretty.
curious how they-
It wasn't even really a study. This was a book. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if this isn't what you got your statistics from, but it was the closest thing that we could find to the stats that you were laying out. And it did, again, it has shown that 20 to 50 men, when asked who they find the most attractive, the answers generally fall in that range, 20 to 23. However, this wasn't really a study. This was a book by the CEO of OkCupid, and he was basing all of this off of analyzing the raw data from OkCupid.
Jesus Christ.
So it's data from dating sites.
And this was in 2014, so it was about a decade ago.
But they're most interested.
Right,
women of
and they
their-
found the same
yeah.
conclusion that Ethan just pointed out, that though they may find younger women more attractive, who they are interested in dating falls generally much closer to their own age.
But if you have a better source on that, I'd love to hear it because we
Or
looked.
even if you look at dating app data, like what? Because it all starts with
That's what
looks
this
for
is.
men.
This is dating.
But I'm saying it
data.
starts with looks for men. You're not going to get in the door unless you look a certain way.
Yeah,
So
women-
I mean,
men
there's
could be attractive.
some older women that right, that look good enough to get into the door. But it starts with swiping, and that starts with looks. So if they find the 22-year-olds the most attractive, that's what you need to get in the door first. It's not to say that every woman over the age of 30 or 35 is like done for completely, but it's going to be a lot harder. And I think it's dishonest to say it's going to be equally as easy to date when you're 35 versus 22.
Yeah, I didn't say that. But you're saying men.
Men tend to, in general, like younger women.
But
Find
that's
younger women more attractive.
But
I don't
not
think
who
it's
they're
accurate to
interested
say
Right, but
they
it
like
starts,
They're
but everything
interested.
starts. But men, it starts with looks. So you don't get into the door unless you look a certain way.
I think
Do
you're
you
making a big
disagree?
generalization about all men.
Okay, do you disagree with that? You don't think it starts?
I think
with
a lot
looks?
of men have a lot of different
Now, this is where Ethan's capping because it does start with looks. Looks get you in the door. Pearl knows she's not been getting in the door. She's been having that bad day after bad day after bad day. Shout out to Jimmy James with the $2 super chat or super sticker. I don't know what that is. It just says one on it. Shout out to you for the $2 super chat sticker. Let's get back into this.
differences, and I think a lot of men's consideration of what attractive has a huge variance as well.
Okay.
So when you say good looks get you into,
You know what? This is funny. There is nothing logically I can say to get y'all to actually become members. Jimmy James, who has a wrench, whose all wrenches expire by the end of the week, drops a $2 super sticker instead of grabbing the 99 cents membership. I don't get y'all. Shout out to y'all for the support, but Jesus Christ, struggling out here.
I mean, attraction is pretty subjective, don't you think?
I think that it starts with looks for men.
And looks is pretty subjective,
Men,
wouldn't you say?
no, I would say it's not. I would say men tend to find the same things attractive.
Beauty is objective.
What up, Robbie?
Based on what?
What up, B2 Cool?
Interesting take. Okay.
Based on what?
I would say dating app data.
Which ones?
Shout out to Red Lipstick Vibes for grabbing that chat pass.
I'm getting rich.
Becoming a member, you also get the custom emojis that y'all are left out from. So shout out to Wild Seed as well with the chat pass, becoming a member. Shout out to you. Shout out to all new members.
I don't know off the top of my head,
Because
Ethan.
this one from OkCupid said men are most interested in men of their own age. Or sorry, women of their own age.
It said women. They find women the most attractive at 22.
All right, so I'm gonna add some mods. I'm gonna give y'all some wrenches real quick. Let me just deal with that, and y'all listen to Pearl's dusty voice for a while.
23.
Yeah,
right?
but they don't want to date.
My argument.
They don't want
is
to
that
date them though. They don't want to date them.
Yeah, they find them more attractive.
You guys don't let me finish. Is my argument is you need looks to get in the door.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
What does that have to do with being 22?
Find that the most attractive. Men tend to find younger women more attractive.
I think you have a really.
I think it's like dishonest to say. Do you really think it's equally as easy to date for a woman at 35 versus 22?
Again, nobody said that.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Do you think it's harder for the 35-year-old in general?
I think there's less options as you get older.
Yeah, of course. I think
For men
that's
too.
very
For men
intuitive.
too.
And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
for
men
both
too.
Yeah, but
partners.
do you think it's equal? Do you think men have less options equally as much as women?
As they get older,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, who fucking knows?
No, like, no, I'm asking your opinion.
You're asking my opinion. My
If
opinion is
women-
that it's probably similar. Probably similar.
If women, yeah, see, I disagree because I
Based
saw
on
a
what?
different dating app that the most. No, I saw a different. I think it was either OkCupid or Plenty of Fish. I can't remember which one, but it was like the most swiped right on age for women was 18, and the most swiped right on age
Well,
for
that's
men
just
was
volume, dude. I mean, there's way more
They're
younger
50.
people on dating apps than
Yeah,
older
for
people.
sure.
Like if
By a
you
lot.
looked at age
Well, I mean,
distribution,
and
it'd
you
be a
could-
vast majority of younger
Yeah,
people.
well,
Yeah.
and when they asked men what age they preferred to date, I think it was like 5 to 7, like 5 years younger was the average, and women it was 5 to 7 years older. So even if we just go off of women's preferences, like men would have more options when they get older because women want older men.
That's all just you're just saying stuff. I mean, you're just saying stuff based on what you think is real. I don't think any of that is necessarily true.
I mean, I could find it. I mean, I don't have like a team like you guys have.
Yeah, but no, well, you
No.
say
Oh, now she doesn't have a team now. When she was calling out Oshay and other people for their production team, she was talking about her team's the best, her producers are the best. They would not want to join y'all. Now she doesn't have a team now, huh? Unaccountable and dusty. Shout out to Seti for becoming a member of the Chat Pass. Let's get it.
say this stuff all the time on your show, so I would expect you to be somewhat familiar with the.
I mean, it just depends on, like, sometimes you forget which one.
Sure.
You know,
You want to name a couple it could be from?
give me a second. I'll find it.
Did you know that the number 5 porn star of all time is?
We're going to get into that in a second. Shout out to B2 Cool with the $10 super chat. Says, yo, shout outs to LTTV. Always happy to support another channel calling out any retarded nonsense and grifting BS. LOL. That's facts. Shout out to you. Shout out to Black Hokage X for joining the chat pass. Shout out to Misty Glass Etching for also joining the chat pass. Shout out to all the new members. Y'all are really supporting. I really appreciate all the memberships. Now let's get it. Now the memberships really help, you know, because when we get more members, we can really react to and talk about the things that we want to speak about without having to chase the ad revenue on some Andrew Tate reactions or the fuck shit that these grifters be doing. So y'all are actually putting forth to get the real content that y'all want. So shout out to y'all.
Lisa Ann, she's 51 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy Love is number 8. She's 50. Men they like MILFs, man. Men like MILFs. They like experienced women that know what they're doing. They like men like that.
Do you think that men want that for relationships?
Do you think men want to date a child for relationships because they're more attractive?
I think men prefer younger women in general.
In relationships.
Yes.
That's just, I'm sorry, but that's not even backed up by your own data. It says men are more
younger than them, typically.
Younger than them, that's a different, that's not, men want to date 22-year-olds.
Exactly. Now she's moving the goalpost because what he said was a reasonable, it's a reasonable, logical, everyday type shit. It's practicality. It's men like girls that are younger than them within like a 5-year radius generally. It's not like we're not campaigning for 50-year-olds and 20-year-olds. That's manosphere red pill talking points. Oh, get your wealth up, be dusted up through your whole 20s and 30s, be a socially weird, awkward person that gets no love, but by the time you work hard enough in your 40s and 50s, you'll have enough money to attract a 20-year-old. These are dense red pill talking points. So, of course, he's trying to get within the nuance of that, but she's being disingenuous when she's now moving the goalpost to try to get her answer to be right. Well, of course they like younger within reason. It's like that's what he's been saying the whole time.
A 50-year-old
they're the most attracted to 22-year-olds, and looks gets you in the door.
Yeah, but it doesn't just get you in the door.
And he's being disingenuous by acting like looks don't get you in the door. So all around capping out here.
Just step one.
You're saying different things. In this culture, if a man is walking around with a 22-year-old, people are going to think that's weird. People think it's weird. 2 out of the 5. It says
2 out of the 5 top porn stars in Pornhub are 23 and under, and all of the people that you're listing started young.
Oh, so they're old now.
Yeah, they built their fan base.
I don't think it really works that way.
But they're old. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be hot.
How do you not think it works that way? You guys are in media. You know damn well that you build a fan base.
Bro, what do you think? They're YouTubers. They're not doing Minecraft Let's Play. They're naked.
Come on. Come on.
I don't find that analysis very interesting, and apparently you don't either, because
Sweetie Fox 22.
Yeah, there's porn stars who are 22.
Yeah, of course.
The majority are younger.
Yeah, but not the popular ones.
The most popular ones are younger. Most popular ones are younger.
They're like in late 20s, you know.
My dog's barking. 1 second. I'm gonna be quiet.
Did she pause it and say, "Oh, my dog is barking"? I'm trying to share a link in the chat. Did she say that? So she bought a dog. Oh, she knows what she's trying to do.
I let her outside. It's kind of hot in here.
I want to ask you.
The number 1 porn star is 23.
Who?
It's either, let me see, it's Eva.
Who's the number 1?
It says,
I just don't think it really.
Number 1 porn.
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
I don't know why they're searching for that. Yep, you guys got it. You got it. She bought that dog because she knows she's going to die alone. I should probably get that soundbite. I have everything. I should probably have that. Yikes. All right, let's get back into it.
Porn
It's either
star on
point.
Pornhub is 23.
Who?
Eva Elfie is 23.
She's not number one.
What I'm
Really?
seeing is number one.
But even if that's true, I don't think that refutes anything. I mean, it's possible
We
that
don't
number
care.
one
Let
is
me tell
23. But,
But you said,
she's
but you
not
just
number
said
one.
it. You just said it.
no
You just
way.
said it refuted it if that the number one search was MILFs.
Right. Well, it counters your argument. Okay, let's move on. There's just arguments in circles here.
You guys are
I want
pointless
to talk about
arguments.
this a little bit more. Higher body count
They
doesn't.
said the 2018 poll, citing a 2018 poll, and the 2022 numbers show that the MILF drops.
The MILF
Reflect-
drops, but it's
Citing a 2018 poll, and the 2022 numbers show that the MILF drops.
it's top 5 most searched. Number 1 in UK, Southern.
Yeah, he was being disingenuous. Up to date, I glossed over that. I'm like, yeah, that was an old thing where MILFs were most searched. That was like a 10-year-old stat. Nowadays, it's stepsister, stepbrother, weird incest type shit that's the most searched. Porn search, it's weird, man. Bunch of weirdos on these things.
Asia,
We
Canada,
did say that
Netherlands.
it was 2018.
Yeah, the 2018
Yeah, but I'm
one.
saying it says the 2022 one that dropped.
Oh.
So they're using porn searches as the metric to understand what men like in women, what men are attracted to. They're using the porn.
So
Yeah,
men
you can't make
became
this shit up.
less interested in older women in the last 5 years, I guess.
Well, this year,
Well,
MILF,
hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead,
sorry,
Olivia.
MILF was number one search term this year in the UK, Southern Asia, Canada, and Netherlands.
Yeah.
And
Men
it
love
was in the
MILFs.
top 5 most searched for terms in Paris, Italy, Mexico, Spain, Poland, Ukraine, Argentina, Sweden.
Man,
We don't care. Let me tell you. We don't care.
Okay, but like, what would you consider a high body count? If
oh, okay,
When you
good.
get married. But guys, you asked.
I just want to get out of this stupid MILF conversation, this pointless circular conversation. Let's get into the next topic they cover.
a high body count.
There we
So
go.
tell me, we didn't really get to flesh this out, but I find this topic interesting. Why is a woman with a high body count, and high, I guess, is like 10 plus? What is high?
Well, it depends. It depends what guys you ask. You know.
In your opinion.
I mean, in my opinion, I really think it's best to be a virgin when you get married. So, I didn't do that. I wish I did, but I think it's best to be a virgin.
Okay, but like, what would you consider a high body count, if in general?
Like, answer the goddamn question. He asked you what is a high body count. You said it's better to be a virgin when you get married. That's not an answer to the goddamn question.
Or when men are looking, considering such a thing?
It seems like the body count studies that I've seen, it drops around like 5 to 7.
5 to 7.
I would say-
Okay, so what is inherently less desirable about a woman with 5 to 7 partners?
I mean, one, what value does that bring to a guy?
Well, it's neutral.
Yeah, I mean, I just think
I asked you what devalues it, not what values it.
What devalues it? I think that you have more exes to compare your current partner to.
Oh, so it's insecurity. So you would be
If you
insecure.
want to label it that way, but it's like, why would you want someone with more exes?
We don't care. Let me tell you. We don't care.
Now, this is how you know this fool speaks in manosphere talking points, red pill talking points, regurgitating others' stats without understanding it at all. When she says more exes, listen, the body count is about promiscuity. Bitches that don't have exes, bitches that just run in the goddamn streets, throwing the pussy at everybody. More exes to compare it to. That is insecurity that Ethan's talking about. Nobody wants a girl that's been a pass around that everybody's flown through. But if a girl has a 1-2 X that you have to compare yourself to and you're shy of that, and you're, oh my God, the comparison, she's had somebody before, she should be a virgin, then you're not being realistic, you're not being real, you're living in a time that's already passed. You're selling shit to dweebs that don't get nothing in the first place. So these incel virgin youths that you're selling this ideology to, expect a virgin on the other side when everybody else is out here fucking. People have relationships. You're going to get somebody that ended up being somebody's ex. You don't want somebody with an egregious body count, but you know they're going to be with somebody in the past. This is foolishness. And she don't understand this. She's a woman. She don't date women as a man. So when she says this stuff, it's like, nope, let me roll through the Rollo Tomasi handbook. Let me see what Fresh and Fit is saying on their channel today. So let me, just spout out their shit. Like, come on, man.
5 to 7 sexual partners means that there's too much to compare me to, and they're
too much to compare at 5 to 7 sexual partners.
For you might think that I'm inadequate because you've had better partners.
Well,
y'all know, men in the comment section right now in the chat, if they found a baddie with under 10, their wife in that. So when you're talking about 5 to 7, what are we doing out here?
also like the rate, women are happier when they're virgins on their wedding day. So
that is just something you said.
No, look, I mean, you can look up the studies on body count. I can.
Yeah, we can fact check that. It just seems like something you just say.
It's like from the Family Institute, something in Family Institute.
Okay, but so while we look that up, let's say so women are happier, but
the more sexual partners a woman has, the less happy she tends to be.
But I'm asking you,
married.
what is less attractive? Because you talk about men are looking for women who have had less sexual partners. So what is less attractive? What makes them less attractive?
What makes them less such? Men don't want hoes.
What do you mean by that?
Men don't want women that have slept with multiple people.
We're talking about 5 to 7 partners. Why don't men want hoes?
Do you want a woman with a lot of bodies?
5 to 7, I don't consider. I think that's totally black.
Well, I think most men would, pray for that nowadays. But what
do you mean most men would pray for it? Because the number I looked up is 10% of women there's only 10% of women in the United States have more than 15 partners. The average number is 4.2.
Did that study was for women? It included older women too, though, didn't
25 to 44.
Yeah, that's the.
Let me tell y'all something about all these stats when it comes to sexual partners. All of these stats that you'll find from these surveys,
It's a total fabrication.
they're all cap. It's all cap. All these numbers and all these surveys, you survey a random person on the street about their body count, why in the fuck do you think they're going to tell you the truth? They don't care that it's not anonymous, or it's anonymous, we're not going to put your name. Motherfuckers be capping through their teeth. All these body count surveys is cap.
I just think it would probably be more accurate if you kept women under like 35, but
So what makes a hoe? What does this hoe mean?
I mean, it depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you, clearly.
That's ether right there. What do you think a hoe is? Oh, it depends who you ask. Niggas asking you directly. Goddamn fool.
So what makes a hoe? What does this hoe mean?
I mean, it depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you, clearly.
You stupid. Silence, you fool.
Man's like, I'm asking you clearly.
So what makes a hoe? What does this hoe mean?
I mean, it depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you, clearly.
What do I think? I mean, from a historical perspective, really a virgin. Like, I think you should be a virgin on your wedding day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's that have to do with men being attracted? You said men don't want to date hoes. I just want to unpack that.
Mm-hmm.
Men don't want to date hoes. I don't know what that means, if I can be totally honest with you.
Men would prefer a woman with less sexual experience than more.
Oh, less? Well, so I gotta disagree with you. I just don't think that's true.
Beta.
I don't think men care. I don't think men care how many sexual partners that women have had, unless it's like 100. But that's true of men.
Stop the cap.
Now, men everywhere actually care about the body count. They don't want an egregiously high body count. They don't want to be with a thought. Men will entertain the hoes all day, and that's what's disingenuous about the red pill space. All these guys talk down on the very hoes that they want to get their attention of. But when it comes to men actually trying to wife girls or take them seriously, we don't want egregiously high body counts. Like that is true. Like I don't know what he's being in denial right here. He's just trying to win the argument.
Men who have had 100 sexual partners are also pretty.
Do you think women care about Drake's body count?
Why?
Like women want to sleep with Drake and like other celebrities. Do you think they care about their body count?
Are we talking
But
about
men don't-
Drake?
men
Or are
aren't-
we
men aren't
talking about
lining up
general
the-
pop? I mean, Drake's a
But
celebrity.
men aren't lining up to date like Lana Rhoades, Mia Khalifa, and like actually
You
marry
fucking
them.
crazy? Dude, are you crazy? Do you really believe that? Dude, men would. There is quite literally.
There are
people
men
would-
that would literally give their
Come
life
on,
to do that.
you can't believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think the
would
men with the
die for
most
that.
options, that's what they want to do.
Men with the most options.
She's tripping because y'all have to understand, niggas were entertaining Selena Powell, Snoop Dogg, 50, Academics, 6ix9ine, Lil Meech. All have been exposed and outed for having relations with Selena Powell. So niggas will definitely fuck the thoughts. They ain't keeping them. They ain't wifing them. They're not allowing them to Ayesha Curry their career. But we're going to get to the Ayesha Curry video in a second. She's just embarrassing Steph Curry all the way around. Yeah, man. She's confusing the two.
Options want to do what?
We're not talking about men with the most options. Are you talking about women with the most options when it comes to Drake? Or are you just talking about average fans?
I'm talking about Drake does not have a problem getting laid because of his body count. I would imagine that
Right.
porn
That's
stars
not-
would have
yeah.
I would imagine that porn stars would have a hard.
Was I on mute again? Wild Seed, you said I'm on mute. Was I on mute? If I was on mute, then how come people are reacting to the Selena Powell? When was I on mute? Yo, what in the hell is going on? I'm just going to stay away from that mute button. Y'all are going to hear everything. You're going to hear me biting on these chicken wings. You're going to hear me drinking the... Man, it is what it is, man.
Hard time getting into marriage with a man that they respect and admire.
Aren't you the one that's always been like, let's not talk about fringe cases? What's the point of bringing up Drake? That's like the most extreme example, wouldn't you agree?
I mean, we could even go into like normal dating. I think it's
That's
silly.
more important. Yeah, let's
Like
do
this
that.
is. I just think it's silly to argue that men want to date women with high body counts.
No, they don't want to. I'm saying I don't think it matters, especially the number.
Shout out to 7 Ann with the $20 super chat. Wish I could call in, but I'm driving. And that's a truck with some money. One way to tell X, y'all in a heated discussion, and she breaks down in tears because she's seeing how disappointed you are. Way different than a chick cussing you out and ghetto antics. Let me read that again. One way to tell X, like an example. One way to tell example. That was confusing. I was like, what the hell? That part, that was, yeah, 4th grade level. Let's get back into this.
You gave me
Care
5
one
to
way or
7.
the other,
Yeah, 5 to 7. I don't think men care about that in general. I just don't.
I mean, you could argue 15 to 20, 25. Like, I don't know exactly what point, but usually there is a
Once again, shout out to 7 Ann with this $20 super chat.
point for most men.
Sure,
Where it's
and
like-
women. I mean, and
Wait, 7 Ann's not a member? Jesus Christ.
women. I don't think women want to date someone who's like slept with.
I just don't think, I don't think it's equal.
Not equal. Because Drake.
No, not because of Drake.
Because we should remove like celebrity and outside kind of influences from this because that obviously creates unusual, fringe cases, which we don't like. We don't like to talk about those.
So then what about the abortion one
I was
earlier?
just parodying you. I was just
thought you
kidding.
liked.
I was just kidding. I was just joking. Yeah. All right, one last thing. I see that we're getting exhausted here. It's fine.
Mhm.
Drake's saying, I want a girl with a future.
It's weird that she doesn't understand when somebody's being sarcastic with her. She didn't pick it up with the Hotep Jesus interview. She doesn't understand when people are being facetious. She doesn't understand any of these basic social cues. Seven Ann says, still cash, bro. Yeah, but I'm saying the rules I'm trying to implement. I'm trying to implement rules for the mods, and y'all want to send me money in every other way outside of the memberships, y'all. But shout out to y'all. Let's get it.
And a past. That's a lyric of his. He wants an experienced girl. Even Drake's talking about it in his damn lyric.
Yeah, shout out to Pebbles with constantly supporting the PayPal link. Yeah, the PayPal is one of the best ways to send me your money. If you send me some PayPals, you might not even join the membership. We might just make you a mod and keep you there. Y'all do not send the Cash App. I got to take the Cash App thing out of the link, y'all. Let me take that out of the link. I refund everybody on their Cash Apps because, you know what I mean? I'll explain that after the show. Let's get it.
Drake doesn't want a virgin.
You just said no celebrities. That's crazy how you just threw that out the window now.
You don't want to talk about it. Drake wants a girl with a future and a past.
Oh, stop. His simp pandering music to women. He makes money off of that. Women are...
Drake also had 40 some odd wedding rings when he wanted to propose to various women. Drake also has painted fingernails. We give Drake a lot of grace because of the city. But come on, Drake, man, you going outside out here.
Like, come on.
Drake!
All right, let's talk about one last
seems
thing.
like a creepy, probably. Yeah.
And I do thank you for being here. You know, it's combative, but I think it's a good conversation. I wanted to ask you about one last thing. This comment I thought was interesting, and tell me what you think about it.
This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish, and I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was,
right,
but they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
Now, we reacted to this in the Oshay video because he was taking entirely too long to press her, but I should have known it was at the end. You get through all the struggle part of the interview, and it's like, nah, all right, now since we don't got anything, let's just press this bitch and cook her. I ain't mad at it. Let's hear it.
In what way was slavery made to seem more horrible than it was?
We were talking about, and I don't really want to go into this too much because we're kind of past this, but I was quoting a Thomas Sowell book.
All right, since we heard this already and the comments are quite interesting right now, let me get into some of these comments. P. Morton says, my ex used to call me at 2 a.m. my time, randomly, 2 years after we broke up. Called me 2 years ago with a second husband and a whole new baby 2 years ago. Chicks be on some stuff sometimes. Yikes.
Come on, man.
Seven Ann says, my wife used to cry every time she dropped me off at the airport to fly back to Florida. And we're back. And we were back then. You can tell if you got a hoe. LOL. All right, let's get back into this, y'all.
So.
Okay.
Who's that?
Yeah. So Thomas Sowell is an author who talks about the history of slavery. So.
Okay. But do you agree with that premise that slavery was embellished, or no?
I think that there are parts that are under embellished and there are parts that are over embellished. I think it just depends what we're talking about.
That's so interesting. I've got to know what was over embellished about slavery. Just like one example, I'm dying to know.
He knew at that point that he caught her. He knew at that point it was celebration. I caught her. She's stressed. You said it out of your own mouth. You said some parts are under, some are over. Now he's like, I wonder which parts. You can't hide behind somebody else's quote and reference that. So explain that, Missy.
Yeah, I just rather, I mean, I was talking about a book that I read, and I think to understand the context, you'd have to read the book.
But you just said some parts were embellished, some parts were under embellished.
I just, again.
Are you retracting that?
I'd really just rather not.
Okay. No, but slavery being embellished, that's so interesting. I don't know how you embellish it.
There are certain facts that we're not allowed to talk about.
Like what? I would love to. We're doing the taboos.
No,
we're mixing it up. It's red pill, baby. Let's see the world as it is.
Taboo topics.
I genuinely want to know how it's embellished.
Yeah.
What can't we talk about? Come on.
I mean, I could show you the video I was quoting, but it's just, I'd rather not get into this, so.
Sounds like a blue-pilled attitude to me.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping this was like a good faith interview.
Wait, what's bad faith? I'm literally showing you clips of you saying stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. What about this interview has been bad faith?
I just think you're kind of trying to push an agenda.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
That's why. You getting cooked and you feeling the heat. That's why you're like, this isn't good faith anymore. He called me blue pill. Now I'm off brand. I got to find a way to grift back onto the conservative red pill side that she was trying to grift, because she's trying to steal everything from the red pill talking points and she's stealing all sorts of conservative talking points. She doesn't have her own brain.
And you're not. Yeah, I just think you're trying to push.
That's a clip of you saying that. You can disavow it. That'd be super easy to say I was wrong.
Full interview where I'm quoting somebody. Like, if you watch the full interview, I am quoting somebody.
But he asked you directly what about slavery was embellished, and you answered. There was no quote or reference to hide from, and you're still trying to be unaccountable.
And now you're trying to pin me down about a topic that I don't dive in.
Pin you down. That's the thing about most of the red pill people, or the people that claim red pill. Pin you down. If you hold them accountable, you call them out, you're pinning them down. You're not dealing in good faith. You're making a hit piece. It's all cowardice. All of them.
Hold on.
So it's like,
hold on,
that's not the point of my channel.
Most of them.
Okay, so it's. I know, but you said it. How is that bad faith? Hold on, let me see.
Because I was talking about how the founder of the Thomas Sowell talks about how the guy that made Roots talked about how it was a myth for his people to live by. Okay. That's what the guy who made Roots said, Alex Haley.
Okay.
So, and I can't even talk about that on a podcast without being canceled by the internet.
Yeah, but
we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Now, we spoke about this in the last reaction when we reacted to this part in Oshay's video. She was not canceled by the internet. She's trying to get sympathy from other folks. You have your whole platform. If people don't fuck with you, they're not obligated to. We covered this before.
Mythology, you know, myth doesn't necessarily mean it's a lie, right? Just because mythology is like a culture,
right, but
a
I'm
history.
saying that doesn't mean the way it's depicted in the movie was how it actually happened. And that's what he was talking about on the book. But again, I was quoting a book, and you're trying to like pin me down on quoting a book.
Let me watch this again and see if I'm doing that.
Stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said I wanted a myth for my people to live by. Yeah. So they often, but that's what they do is they embellish.
So then you say, but here's what they do.
And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible.
I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible.
Right, but they want to make it like more horrible.
But they want to make it more horrible.
That they can control people.
So that they can control people.
Right, but
Nick Fuentes agrees.
But wait! Oh my gosh! 5 minutes before I say Sowell talks about this in his book, so I'm communicating in the interview that I'm quoting an author.
You're not being honest.
Like,
you say they do this to. Okay, so you disavow. Just disavow it then. That's easy. Just say I don't think slavery was embellished. I mean, that's super easy. That's like a layup.
Now, respect to Ethan for this part specifically right here. He held her to the fire. She could not escape. She looks very disturbed. She looks very annoyed right now because he repeated her words to her verbatim. You can't wig. 5 minutes ago I was. No, you weren't. No, the fuck you weren't. That bullshit ain't flying. That unaccountable bullshit jumping from deflection to deflection. It didn't work. He caught you.
Do you agree? You know what I mean? It's like, just say you don't think slavery was embellished.
I think there are certain facts that you're not allowed to talk about. I don't really want to talk about it today.
But that
Man, you stupid bitch!
She just doesn't want to admit that she's wrong. That's what it comes down to. She's entitled to be right. She can't stand on her own shit at all, but she doesn't want to admit that she's wrong. This is pathetic. Oh, we can't talk about it. Nope, you're on his platform. He's giving you the floor to talk about it. You don't like what people think about your opinion on these matters, and you think that people are obligated to like and support you. That's spoiled Karen bullshit she got going on for her. Shout out to B2Cool with the $9 or the $10 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Said that's Pearl and other red pill losers go to answer saying, my bad. You're being disingenuous or you're doing this in bad faith when they're being controlled or are confronted and asked questions about their own bullshit. That's facts. You read that again. That's Pearls and the red pill losers go to answer saying you're being disingenuous or you're doing this in bad faith when they're being confronted and asked questions about their own goddamn bullshit. I added the goddamn, but it's true. Shout out to 7Ann with the $5 super chat. I appreciate your geopolitics video you did with what's his name. Good switch up. Will you do a whole video later? My geopolitics video I did with what's his... Oh, that was a part of a long live stream we did. That was a part of the Fresh and Fit Pearl leading Fresh and Fit down the drain. We did that was a long conversation we had. That was the second half of that episode. I might just drop that entire clip for y'all to see. It was with Duke the Don, Christy O, the Features, Jason Reels called in. Who else was on that panel? Everybody gave good insight. That was a really good conversation we had there. I think the Grey Pill podcast called in. I don't know if Convos with Tommy B called in on that show. I don't know. There was a lot of people. That was a good show.
Roots was what is a myth?
Again, there are certain facts you're not allowed to talk about, and I don't really feel like getting into it today.
Thomas Sowell.
Did I hit the Oshay drop for 7Ann's super chat as well?
I'm getting rich.
Shout out to everybody dropping that super chat. Make sure that y'all sprinkle a little in the PayPal as well. Somebody throw that PayPal link in there. Sprinkle a little bit in that PayPal, y'all.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Compared Barack Obama to Adolf Hitler. Do you like that analogy? That's the author you're quoting. Do you think that's a fair analogy?
That's a quite one-sided way to write his whole work, but he wrote like 100 books.
Oh, I'm just asking you, do you agree with that statement? Barack Obama is comparable to Adolf Hitler.
Bitch, answer the goddamn question.
Do you agree with that statement? Barack Obama is comparable to Adolf Hitler.
No.
Okay. See, it's not hard. It's not hard. That's awesome. That's easy to do. You also said George Washington was viewed from his slaves like a father. I guess that's part of what the what the myth, I guess, is that not all slave owners were evil. Some were father figures like George Washington. Did you say that?
I don't remember.
I
think like if someone's a great and powerful man in
Oh
history,
man, and he has the evidence. Yo, one more time, y'all. This shit's hilarious.
Did you say that?
I don't remember.
I
think like if someone's a great and powerful man in history to the point like they're talking about him hundreds of years later, he didn't have any kids. But
Did he own slaves?
What?
Did he own slaves? George Washington.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, no roman to me. I'm just saying.
No, it's actually interesting. He had a different, like he inherited his slaves, And it wasn't as simple as he could have just like let them go, because the debt that's incurred on them, like you can't just release them. And so his slaves actually, like, he had a really good relationship with them, and they considered him like a dad.
What's your source for that?
That was from a Thomas Sowell book.
Come on, man.
Here we go again with scapegoating Thomas Sowell. Y'all, can we get the likes up, please? I'm not going to bully y'all this time. I'm just going to ask y'all nicely. The likes are rather dusty in relation to the viewing, and y'all been here watching a long time. Can we please get the likes up, y'all?
Giggity giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
Y'all be patient. These likes is moving. I don't have to say anything. The likes are actually moving. Let me just shut up. All right, let's get back into it.
Thomas Sowell. So he's your guy. Thomas Sowell's the man. Thomas Sowell wrote a column about supporting segregation in public schools. George Washington.
You want me to apologize? Like, you want me to talk about...
Now, shout out to everybody that hit the like button, but you could tell that y'all just forgot. It's like those likes came pretty quick. Y'all weren't reluctant to give them up, too. Y'all just be forgetting. Shout out to y'all, though. Let's get it.
Every single one of this man's opinions.
No, I just want I just want to know what you think. George Washington.
You want me to apologize? Like, you want me to talk about every single one of this man's opinions?
No, I just want I just want to know what you think.
If you are going to use Thomas Sowell as a reference to all the rhetoric you espouse on your platforms, of course he's going to ask you, what do you think about he said this or that? It's common sense. It's a normal line of questioning. She just does not want to be accountable for anything she says.
Do you think racism was embellished? I mean, it's so easy. I mean, just say no.
Okay. There was a time where I started to read accounts from actual slaves. So these were like in like and I can't really talk about this. Like, even if I talk about this now, they're going to clip it. They're going to say things I didn't say. But it's like, I used to read actual slave accounts, and I was surprised how many didn't say bad things about their owners after they were free.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to say, like, slavery was a horrible institution, but I can't talk about that fact without getting canceled. I can't say, hey, these slaves had a good relationship with their owners without getting canceled.
Because it's not true. Because it's just not true. It's not true. What George Washington...
She doesn't understand how disrespectful she is and how she's diminishing slavery on a whole as a complex, because she's like, they were cool with their owners. So you're acting like slavery was just, we're all friends. You owned me as a grown-ass man. You speak, she tries to act like she's an advocate for men. If you're an advocate for men, how do you not see another man being owned and his family being owned by a whole nother human being as something that is completely and utterly disrespectful to the highest level of violation? Oh, they were cool. Yeah, they lived cordially. They got along to the point where they're free, and now they're not yielding a level of animus that you expect. You expect them to be coming for their throat and killing these niggas ASAP because they're not doing that. Oh, let me write in this book that they were actually cool with their slave owners and they're happy and X, Y, and Z. Like, shut that shit up. You can tell this woman has no respect for black people at all, nor black men. So as an advocate for men, we don't want to hear that shit.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
And I'm just an objective commentary channel. I'm not an advocate for anybody.
He was not a father figure to his slaves.
Well, if you look up, like, I think it was Booker
47, let's see, 47 of George Washington's slaves tried to escape. Would you try to escape if you loved your master?
Maybe that one was wrong. I don't know. This was like a little bit on a podcast months ago. I don't really remember, but and I said I wasn't sure if it was Washington either in that interview at some point, but
well, George
the
Washington
whole
was
I'm bringing up is I'm not even allowed to have this conversation without.
Listen, Pearl, listen real good if you're watching the show. You are allowed to have any conversation that is permitted by the YouTube's guidelines and copyright. So as long as you're not infringing on their copyright system and their guideline system, you can speak about anything. And if you want to, infringe on that or step over their guidelines, take your shit to Rumble. You understand that. You can do that. You are not being canceled. You are not being stopped by anybody. You are still actively on the platform. People are not obligated to like the dumb shit that comes out of your mouth. People are not obligated to support it. People are not obligated to be silent in the midst of you talking your shit. People can counter your arguments, tell you how stupid your points are without it being a hit piece. This entitlement is filthy. It is filthy. You seriously need some psychological help to think that you're that entitled to everybody's adoration. I don't know what type of shit her father did to her to make her feel like daddy's special girl, but
Stop it. Get some help.
You up here trying to get people sick.
You mean not allowed?
That, but I mean, we're giving you the platform.
I mean, I got months of backlash for this. I'm now like, you guys are kind of trying to do a gotcha moment.
No. I didn't know about the backlash.
Like,
I
I'm
promise.
not really.
I didn't know about the backlash. I promise I didn't.
Like, I had months.
I just want to know what you think.
Like, I had months of people. Like, it's like if I have this conversation.
We don't care. Let me tell you something. We don't care.
Yep. I had months of X, Y, and Z. Why? Because you don't want to be accountable for your own rhetoric.
Crying to me, and I'm not having that.
Vaughn, that's facts. She's trying to use the white privilege in a black space. You know how that goes.
Get him out of here. He's got no place in here. Get rid of him.
And I had months of people calling my employees slaves. Like, that's what they call, like,
that's horrible. Yeah, I disagree.
Horrible.
That sucks.
Horrible.
But at the same time,
and like,
oh my God, they called us names. They called them slaves like you call fat girls whales. And you're like, oh my God, get out your feelings, fat girls. But now you want to cry when you're being called names as well?
Shut up, Meg.
even the guy, and you know this because you watched the video of that guy.
Mm-hmm.
The reaction you just showed, like, you're acting oblivious, so I didn't know that, but you do know that because the reaction you just watched was my former co-host who insinuated that my employees were being colonized.
Oh,
You know, when I thought that mediocre tutorials and reviews would have been way more offended at her, I thought he was going to be way more offended about the content that she continued to put up and affiliate him with her brand than the cancer that he was able to successfully beat. And then he dropped the video on his dad and his battles with cancer. And then I'm like, yo, with this bitch making that joke and everything, knowing everything that's going on with him and his father passed, RIP, it just makes it even more slimy because he beat his cancer bout. But his father was going through agony, and he was in London throughout. If y'all didn't see that video was fucked up. Mediocre tutorials and reviews definitely goes on a ledge and shares a lot about his life, his personal life, for the sake of others on his channel. So that was a moment for him. That Pearl can't rewind that, man. Yeah, his dad was dying at the time, so of course he was that really bothered him. I did not understand that because he didn't share that at that point, because we don't know what people are going through. So people have their criticism, but people don't know what they're going through. And I watched that video, I was like, Jesus Christ. That was agony. Shout out to Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. I clown him sometimes, but shout out to him for sharing such a story that can actually touch a lot of people, because that cancer, the way it spreaded, that was... I would not react to that video. I would not try to monetize or get anything from that video, but I definitely suggest y'all actually watch that if you want some insight to what goes on, because that's fucked up, man. TG says MTR wasted time with Pearly instead of spending time with his father. Well, his father shielded him. Shout out to 7An with the PayPal. Jesus Christ, what did I receive here? Shout out to you. Holy, 7An. Supporting here. Hold on, let me check this. I don't want to lose this point because that point was important when it comes to that. Hold on. I received $126 on a PayPal. Shout out to 7An.
I'm getting rich.
Hold on, y'all. I'm shout out to 7An. You know what? You just got upgraded, sir. You need to be at least a, what is this? You are a standard mod. I'm going to remove your standard mod briefly. I'm going to add you as a moderator. You are now a managing mod. I don't know what capabilities that has. I actually don't know what you're capable of now that you're a managing mod. I think it's like a super wrench.
I'm getting rich.
Yep. Bypass the whole line. Super wrench now. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. All right, so what was the point I was making about mediocre? Yeah, him sharing those stories, because it's very tough. The easiest thing to do is keep that shit inside and not share it with your audience. Like I kind of go in on some people for oversharing certain things, which I stand on. You should not overshare on certain things. But sharing those type of stories could actually help a lot of people dealing with similar things, or give them some sort of insight to what's going on so they can catch their cancer early if they get any of those type of problems with cancer. So I really support that video, and shout out to Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews for that, in all seriousness. PayPal message. Hold on, y'all. Let me play this real quick and I'll get into that. Hold on, 7An.
I didn't know that. I promise.
So
I just wanted to get your take.
There.
Well, people say, I just wanted to know what your thoughts are on this. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not, like, my channel isn't about slavery. That's like a fringe
I know.
comment.
I want to know about you.
But I'm asking, like, why are you bringing this up when that's not really what my channel's about?
I can only ask you things about. This is interesting.
Hold on. All right, so 7An in the PayPal says, for my membership and for you to pull up Yanni, in commas it says Lapif Beef, and Omi from Shaolin Showdown and do a side-by-side. Didn't I do that already? Didn't I do that? So I got to pull up Yanni from the Lapif Beef, that Real Talk with Yanni, and Shaolin Showdown side by side. I'm gonna do that. Hold on, y'all. How can I get a Yanni picture?
I want to ask you about it. Why do I can only ask you things in a confined space about your channel?
You can, but you understand how that looks to me. It's like you're just trying to pick out every single.
Oh, I did that already. It's something of the past. Shout out to Christy O. Christy O, your message earlier really bothered me because you didn't believe the shit I was saying too. It threw me for a loop. I'm not gonna lie. I asked you to call in earlier in the show because I was like, what in the hell's going on? I'm like, this girl really doesn't. But you know what? I'm gonna hold off on that. I do support you, Christy O. Shout out to you for calling in and supporting the channel.
Listen, Pearl, to be fair, to be totally fair, you could just say, I don't think slavery.
Shit, I'm gonna pull that up if I can. I don't know if I've already done that, but shout out to 7An. I'm gonna try to do that again if I can.
It was embellished.
Like you were
like
just
that's
talking
super
about,
easy. That's a layup for most people.
I was quoting a book. That's the crazy part. I was quoting a book.
So do you agree with his statement though?
Do I think overall it was embellished? Some parts, sure.
There it is. Which parts?
Some parts.
No, please tell me which parts. Tell me.
I think that you can't. I think that certain slaves had good relationships with their owners. Not all, maybe not most, but I think some did.
And that just
and there are accounts of them saying this.
And that justifies all of slavery. That makes slavery, not even all, that just justifies slavery in general. It wasn't that bad. They had good relationships, and I staunchly believe that. I'm so dogmatic. I, as Pearl, know nothing about history, nothing about slavery, nothing about anything really, because I'm an idiot. But I'm dogmatic on this point. Slavery was not that bad because some of them were still cool.
embellished? Some parts, sure.
There it is. Which parts?
Some parts.
No, please tell me which parts. Tell me.
I think that you can't. I think that certain slaves had good relationships with their owners. Not all, maybe not most, but I think some did.
And that just
and there are accounts of them saying this.
So some slaves had good relationships with their masters. Therefore, slavery was embellished.
You know how this is gonna go for me.
Yes, like what conclusion are you drawing from your statement? Say your statement is true and we give you the grace. What conclusion are you drawing from this statement?
Like, I don't know why you're doing this. You know I can't have this conversation.
Why can't you have this conversation, ma'am? Are you not qualified for it? Is that why you can't have it? Are you scared of people's reaction? Yeah, I did pull that up. Now looking at it, Omi from Challenge. Yeah, I pulled that up before.
Without them painting it a certain way.
Well, just own it then. Just do it. Just say what you want. You know what I mean? Just be red-pilled about it. Who is they? I don't know who's they. Just your haters or someone?
The left.
The left.
Do they have parentheses around the they?
Like, I mean, you even came in, like, you researched, like, my family. Like, that's weird.
How's that weird? It's all public. It's stuff you talked about. You literally talked about it. It's called preparation, which you clearly done none of.
I didn't.
Like, you literally do no preparation, and you talk about.
I didn't talk about if my mom was the president of, like, the company.
Where did we find that?
Find that on their website.
I just looked it up. I googled who are your parents, and it popped right up.
Is that
they're famous? They're relatively famous.
I didn't send a private investigator.
On YouTube. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't send a private investigator to your house. I just did a little bit of research.
Public information.
Like, let me bring facts about your parents to this interview.
Dude, you knew you were coming to talk to me for weeks.
Could have easily done that.
You're welcome.
But I thought we were talking about the issues, not like my family.
We didn't talk about your family.
My family. I mean, you were even implying earlier.
First of all, it is relevant that your mom is the president when you're talking about.
You didn't know any of the backlash I got.
Well,
that is a great point right there, Christio. Yes, there were slave masters that impregnated their slaves and even fell in love with them. It means nothing. That is facts. That is facts. So when she brings, I'm still trying to figure out what conclusion she was trying to draw from her statement.
Who cares? You said it. Just own it.
No, I'm asking. You didn't know any of the backlash I
didn't. I didn't know about it.
No idea. Even though you got that from a video that my ex-co-host made about me.
Right.
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
This is what I was talking about. She's so entitled. She thinks that everybody is forced to like her. Nobody's supposed to say anything negative, make a negative video. Oh, you see the backlash from what I said. It's like, so this is the internet. What do you think this is? Sometimes I'm like, yo, what is going through her peanut brain?
Right? See, like, this is dishonest. It's not honest.
But what's the problem? You're getting backlash for something that you think.
But I'm saying, so you're like.
You're think that. You brought your parents up when you were talking about hiring people, didn't you?
I said, I think it's a bit disingenuous.
You talk about your parents all the time. You talk about how your dad is rich. You did a tour of his whole barn with the bowling alley and fucking recreational stuff in it. Like, why am I not allowed to talk about?
I'm saying, like, you even just said that you knew. Like, because you got that clip from an
okay, who cares?
We're not here to protect your reputation.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? Let's say
care.
I didn't know about it to the extent that it was such an issue for you, but let's just say it was. I mean,
I do have to go though because I have a show coming up. So.
Okay, let's just end on this note.
Mm-hmm.
Slavery was embellished because some masters had good relationships with their masters. Some slaves had good relationships with their masters.
All right.
But don't you see how easy it is to just say, I don't think it was embellished? I don't think it's a secret.
You guys act just like Abba and Preach.
Like
you
Pearl.
act just like them.
Wait, Pearl, I don't think it's a secret that...
Okay, so they act just like Abba and Preach. What was her primary complaints with Abba and Preach? Her primary complaints with Abba and Preach is they would cut stuff up into small clips and take her out of context. And then use that against her with no rebut, no long form, no live stream. Just a quick video with cut up clips. He is debating you live in the action and using your words against you, and you don't want to be accountable, and you're dusty and mad at the outcome. So all of a sudden, he's doing something evil and malicious. He's done nothing wrong in this interview. He just had a conversation and is using your words against you and holding you accountable. What does this have to do with Abba and Preach? How is he using the tactics that you hate about Abba and Preach against you when he's not doing any of the sort? He's talking to you, long form conversation, giving you the full context behind your clips, using your words directly out of your mouth against you, and you're still trying to scapegoat content creators or Thomas Sowell. You're still trying to scapegoat Thomas Sowell and be like, I was referring to this. Well, 5 minutes back, it was this. Like, stop the cap. You're fooling nobody.
Stop it. Get some help.
Some masters had good relationships with their slaves. I don't think that's a secret. There's been a whole
thank you. I really appreciate you having me on. But I'm gonna go. Thank you,
George.
Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate. Okay,
have a good night.
Have a good night.
Oh, she had to rage quit. She couldn't even get through the entire video.
Oh, yes. The camera loves your nastiness.
Once again, call-in link is open. The link is in the description. Let me drop it again in the chat. Here is the call-in link. The password is test with a capital T. If y'all want to call in, discuss this matter. I'm not going to listen to the rest of Ethan now because he doesn't have Pearl on the show, and we were here to react to the cooking of Pearl. Pearl has been successfully rotisseried. So we are moving on from Ethan's breakdown. There's an hour left. Ain't nobody got time for that. Let's keep it a stack, man.
1, 2, 3. We don't give a fuck about none of that.
So the call-in link is open. We had a few callers in the last show, but I guess I didn't return quick enough to have the same group watching. Nonetheless, the call-in line is open. We will have it open for a few minutes before we wrap up the show and get on to some next mess because ain't nobody trying to wait years for people to call in. It's not that important. It's not that necessary. We would actually like y'all to hit the like button. That actually takes precedent right now. We're trying to get it to at least 100 likes while we are still live. So y'all made it through the entire way. There's more than 100 people watching. I believe I should reach 100 likes. So let's get these likes, y'all. What's next on the list? I like to refrain from doing that because every time I tell somebody what's next on the list, it doesn't come through and everyone's looking at me like
Stop the cap.
Something else takes priority. So what's next on the list? We don't know. But if anybody wants to discuss Pearl and what we've seen through the last couple of reactions, call in, join the discussion, debate me on anything. If you disagree, if Pearl, you're watching this right now and you think I'm a bitch ass nigga talking shit, call in so I can cook you. Other than that, let's talk about Ayesha Curry real briefly before I wrap this up. I don't want to bring that into an next stream. I want to talk about this now. So let's pull this up real quick. Ayesha Curry to the streets. Let's see it.
She belongs to the streets.
Now, I'm going to play this whole video, and then I'm going to break it down. But come on, Ayesha Curry. Savannah James would never. Oh, shit. Shout out to... Yeah, I gotta stop doing this. I just be muting the back. Shout out to E Black for letting me know that folks was in on the call line. Let me just play this video I was playing real quick. It's almost done. There's like 13 seconds left.
Let me know when you're ready for any kind of commentary.
Yeah, we ready right now. She took the glass. Now we ready. I'm gonna pull up y'all on the screen.
Okay.
Let me pull up my next camera. Hold up, yo. So, pretty much, before we get into y'all commentary, I just want to say this about Ayesha Curry. Ayesha Curry was pump faking like she was pulling off her ring in excitement for that dude with the shirt coming off. An absolute bad look. You're a public figure. You're the wife of an NBA star, and you're doing something like that. To me, that's just so egregiously bad. She's already fucked up a number of times, and she's trying to repair her image in the public, and she just goes on to continuously disrespect her husband. LeBron James puts up Savannah James and pedestalizes her for the public to see because she handles herself in the right way and she's always rewarded. I don't know what's going on in Steph Curry's household, but she's always making him look a goddamn fool. What do y'all got to say about that?
I was going to say something when it comes to Pearl Jr. I'm not sure as far as the whole stuff.
Oh no, yeah, go ahead. You can talk about Pearl as well. We don't really care.
Oh,
about that shit.
when it comes to Pearl Jr., she's just a sociopath. There's nothing even to understand about her outside of her mind is mentally elsewhere. That's something that's cured through consequences, not through concern. And her being reprimanded as heavily as she is, that's a good thing. Talking to her is like talking to somebody who's, mentally ill, and you're trying to connect the dots and trying to get them to see what's the matter. Stuff like that doesn't work. You have to give them the same attitude they display. Like, you have to talk to her from the standpoint of her being property, and you have to take it to a level to which she can understand, because she's at a level to where it's all about domination or subjugation. And if we're going to play that back and forth game, then you look better as a slave than me. So I'll treat you well. You won't go anywhere. I'll feed you 3 times a day. You have to rationalize that to her and only deal with her at that level so she can understand that. Because I don't care how she feels. I feel like she needs to be dragged even more.
Yeah, man, I agree with homeboy. It's like, it's all about accountability. People want to say stuff and don't want to be held accountable. The fact of the matter is that you're going to be held accountable. You put yourself on a platform holding other people accountable, but the moment somebody holds you accountable, I don't want to talk about this. I have another show. Why are we even talking about this? They made hit pieces on me. It's such a Karen moment.
Yep.
And it's hilarious to watch because, like I said, LT, the moment you hold the people who hold the most people accountable, they start running. They'll complain about copyright strikes. They'll complain about being canceled, the Matrix, so called. But when it comes down to it, y'all just don't like to be held accountable.
Yep.
And y'all want a free pass to bully and beat up people for your opinions. But when somebody else has an opinion that you don't like, then shit, man, it's all cap in my opinion. So but I actually have a different take on Curry though.
Okay, let's hear your Curry take before we get back into Pearl.
My take on that is that just because you're making money and you're thrust in the limelight doesn't mean that you're ready. I just don't think she's ready for the limelight. She's not ready. She's definitely benefiting off of Steph Curry's prominence and dominance of the game.
Whose fault is that, though? I believe that's Steph Curry's fault. I think Steph Curry failed her in that light. If you believe she's not ready, which it shows that she's not ready, it ultimately comes down to Steph. That's why Steph is getting laughed at. That's why Steph gets way less respect than someone like LeBron, because Steph is failed her.
But if you're married to a person who wants to participate, it's hard to say no. It really is. No matter what you say, you can't keep her crept up in the mansion raising the kids.
That's not what Savannah's doing. Savannah's living her best life. It's just how the optics look and how you present yourself to the public. All she simply has to do is refrain from disrespecting her husband and calling games rigged, and she's good. She's Gucci. But I don't know why she does what she does. Every other prominent NBA wife is out of the limelight, and they don't need nearly as much attention as Steph's wife does. It's bizarre.
Let's be honest. I can see why he married her. She's goofy. She's fun. It's just he can't be like that amongst everybody.
Yep. Especially
that's where the it's like if you have you and your chick y'all I don't know if you're married or have a significant other, but this YouTube thing comes successful, and she wants to participate. It doesn't necessarily mean because of your success she's going to be elevated to the level of being able to handle the moments. People are going to.
Oh, sorry. Continue. My bad. I don't want to cut you off. I want to finish your point, bro.
But like she's just not able to handle the moment. There's a lot of things in which. Like I see of her, like she's tried the cooking thing. They're actually trying to figure out something that she can feel good about. And there's nothing wrong with that, but the fact of the matter is that she's just not ready for the moment of the limelight she's going to get.
I think if she wants something that she can feel good about, she can successfully do that without embarrassing her husband. The cooking show did not embarrass her husband. That cooking show it didn't get that much attention, but she shouldn't use disrespecting her husband as getting attention, because it seems like the only time she's ever got attention is when she criticized women for wearing skimpy outfits, and then she got in shape and wore the same skimpy outfits, looked like jealousy. And then she got attention when she made Steph look bad with the open relationship rumors. And she got attention when she called the NBA Finals rigged when LeBron came back from the 3-1. So she's getting attention for all the negative things. It seems like that's the only way she gets attention. She's going to lean into it, because this would have been an innocent appearance on that Girl Talk show. Nobody would have spoken about it until she did the whole, oh, let me lose my ring because there's a guy shirtless coming around the corner. Like, that looks pathetic. It looks bad for Steph. If someone said if Steph's cool with it, then it doesn't bother him. It is what it is. Dwayne Wade's cool with Gabby. People are still going to talk about it negatively. People are still going to lose respect for him. Was that?
Dwayne Wade is a special case. He's like somebody who's clearly, there must be some kind of open relationship to where all types of stuff is happening behind closed doors. I mean, kids are the canaries in the coal mines. And if you see how they're just, just open-ended when it comes to Zaya, then I'm sure they're open-ended when it comes to their whole interaction as pertains to however they get down behind in the bedroom. So, I mean, I feel like it's at that level. I don't know if I would compare that to Steph Curry's situation.
Yo, I didn't even think about that, because why would they be so open with the sexuality of their child if they weren't so open about their bedrooms? Because Dwayne Wade, yeah, that's weird. I never even thought about that. That is an angle, because there's a lot of Holly weird bullshit. I'm not going to stamp that on them, but it's something to think about.
Dwayne Wade, if you really look at, like, Dwayne
Wade
has who's that? I hear somebody talking. But Dwayne Wade, if you've ever looked at his documentary, you can see he's come from hardship. His mom, he had a lot of different issues. What the heck is going on with the screen? But he's had a lot of hardships in terms of his life. Some of that comes in, in my opinion, it comes through if you've ever looked at, like, Will and Jada Smith's, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, if you look at their relationship and you look at their history, you can see where the dysfunctional fuckery comes from. And I think it's the same thing in regards to, I think it's the same thing in regards to Dwayne Wade. He has a lot of stuff that he's probably not even talking about, but his past is really he comes from really bad history.
Though he has, like, trauma, and they have a trauma bond going on.
He for like the last 2 years of his high school career, he had to stay with his his ex-wife family.
Are you aware of LeBron's upbringing?
Yeah.
How LeBron was like, his mother was homeless. He had to live with his coaches and X, Y, and Z. And it's like, I think a lot of the times people they use these things as excuses. It's like, it could be a reason and a rationale, but it's like, is that the excuse or a justification because you had a hard, no, everybody had a goddamn hard life. That's why I don't even share a lot of the shit that I've been through on here, because I'm like, everybody had a hard life. It's just crying to the crowd at this point. So I don't know, man.
But when it happens, when there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it could have altered his mind when it comes to certain things. I don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes when it comes to Dwayne Wade and why he's moving the way he's moving now. But I'm sure there's some unaddressed pain, and I feel like to a large degree he's not being who he wants to be openly. I don't understand why he isn't just going that route. I mean, everybody in the universe knows what it is.
What is it? Say it.
He's bisexual. This dude is. I think he's bisexual.
Don't do my guy D Wade like that, man.
We all know. We don't hate him because of it. I'm just saying that we're not surprised by why he moves in the manner that he does.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just he keeps trying to be a public figure and pushing his child out there to be the representation of that. That's a bridge too far, and I feel like that is really where it goes sideways.
But what about his other kid? He pushed the other one in the forefront too. He gave him just as many chances.
He pushed both of his kids into his passions and love. He pushed one of his kids into basketball and the other into the LGBTQ. So I think I think there might be some merit into that, because I've heard from many folks say that Dwayne Wade is vicariously living through his son. living his dreams of zest through his son. So this is all conjecture. This is all speculation at this point. I do not know. But why, as a father, would you allow that?
I would say, can you hear me?
Yep. Who's this calling him?
7 Aaron.
Oh, 7 Aaron. What up, bro?
What's up? I would say Will and Dwayne Wade come from woman-led houses. And I would even put Steph Curry in there because they don't know how to step up as men and put their foot down and say, hey, this is what I tolerate, this is what I don't tolerate as your husband, as your leader. And so now, like, you're really seeing, as you can say, the gynocracy on Front Street, and it doesn't affect how much money you have and what you're known for.
Yeah.
With the whole Dwayne Wade, I was a big Miami Heat fan. Like I said, I lived in Florida from 2011 to 2017. I would see on Snapchat Gabrielle Union with the little boy with her girls doing girly shit. And everybody on here is black. You know your mama would separate you from her and her girlfriends. This is not a place for you. But I seen on Snapchat, and I still got it on my Facebook, and I shared it a couple weeks ago, she would have that little boy around her and her Hollywood girlfriends. And E-Black, you and I both know there's different conversations and mannerism growing up in the black community between men, your uncles and your older cousins, and your auntie and your girl cousin, your sister, and how your mom and your grandma act, right?
Yeah.
That boy was around that 24/7. And I used to watch him on Snapchat because I was a big Miami Heat fan and I lived in Orlando, Florida. So that's where that shit comes from. And Dwayne Wade had a white LBG nanny for that boy. A white man being a nanny for that boy.
Oh.
So he's seen
people
all
are
that.
shaped by their environment. I think it could be the nanny. It could be him just constantly being around women 24/7. Because here's the thing: when you gravitate towards a crowd, you begin to imitate that crowd. Whether it's male or female, whatever they like, you'll try to find some kind of common ground to where you share interests. And I think that's how his man began to shape in that fashion. I think Gabrielle Union encourages that kind of stuff. I think she encourages that heavily. I think Dwayne Wade is fine with that. I think he's living vicariously through his, through Zaya, I'll say.
And I don't want to make this a Dwayne Wade stream, but let's not forget Dwayne Wade had a secret baby on her.
Yeah.
There's that
Maybe
too.
she's a devouring mother. Maybe she's doing this shit out of spite.
But
Out of spite. Go ahead.
No. Sometimes it's just like I said. He comes from a hard background, and sometimes you can see you can see hypersexuality, especially amongst black men. These are sometimes the issues that fruition. Everybody doesn't have the spotlight on them. Some of us are able to hide it better than others.
Yeah.
Vaughn says he has. Wait, I'm echoing. Somebody has.
No, it's the one with the W.
No, I think that's me. I think I had another thing open. Yeah, because I have two things open. My bad. Am I that much of a goldfish where I forgot my point already? Holy. What the fuck is going on?
He got dusty memory.
Facts, bro. Jeez. Not enough hard drive space.
But just Pearly, man. She's just a white girl that don't know shit, man. She's a Midwest white girl. I've been around those type of girls in Seattle for years. They just talk and they're just tone deaf and can't read the room.
It's crazy she managed to rise up in the ranks. That's the thing that I have a problem with. Somebody with her disposition, her demeanor. How the hell did she climb so high so quickly? I don't think people who are like her should have even a snowball's chance in hell of building that kind of platform. And she has, this kind of dismissive ass disposition when it comes to slavery. I mean, that's the most open and shut situation you can ever bring up. I mean, I would never try to rationalize the Holocaust and say, well, they weren't all bad. No, all of them were bad. I mean, I'm not going to sit around and try to find the one that was good. I don't give a damn.
She's and what's crazy about this is that she's obviously not good at anything other than red pill. She is terrible. Like it's one thing to be like a great debater and then really good at red pill talking points. but like she is terrible. Like this is really bad red pill. Like this is really bad debating tactics, skill, ability. Like the only thing, and I remember watching it. Now I'm not a Pearl fan, but every time I watch her, she doesn't really say much. She allows the co-hosts, the black guys, to kind of lead the argument on men's issues. She's really bad.
She
you know
is
what I
the
mean?
ultimate form of copy and paste. You know what she does? She sources all her questions from two channels. Was it that Clips channel that interviews people on the road, and the Whatever podcast? And she might steal and refurbish some of Fresh and Fit's talking points and questions too. All she does is see stuff, copy, paste, insert it into her own show. She doesn't understand anything. She doesn't know how to debate anything. She doesn't know how to make a point where she stands on her own point. Every time she gets cornered on a point, oh, Thomas Sowell said it. Oh, this miscellaneous nigga over here said it. Like, it's always some random, she's always just pulling some name out of her hat arbitrarily, saying, oh, it's this person, it's this person, it's this person, not me.
She has to outsource accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when that whole red pill crowd, that red pill crowd, you know, I mean, I'm an incel myself. I'm just going to say that. That red pill crowd is a toxic-ass environment. It's like breathing smog. And these people, to that crowd, they're desperate to find a woman who will say the same thing that they do. They want to find a woman who will repeat the same stuff that they say so that they feel validated. They don't even have to be attractive. They just have to be a woman. Say, oh, well, look, she agrees with me. She understands. And then they take that and run with it. What she does is she'll say a few words, and then she'll let people just play off each other, and she'll, you know, invoke some kind of red pill talking point and say, well, I think that also. And then they go back and forth, and I'm like, man, she's not really doing anything. She's not even investing as far as her.
But she leans a lot on her. If you really watch a couple of her shows, she leans a lot on the men to kind of battle the talking points.
Yep,
right?
that's true.
She leans a lot on her co-stars.
Because if you're a female, all you gotta do is, if you're a female, all you gotta, like, a lot of these girls don't know how to fucking debate and have a conversation. All you gotta do is ask her, okay, what's your body count and why don't you have any body? What's your excuse if you have a low body count?
That's facts.
That's how you defeat her whole argument. What is your excuse if you have a low body count? Why haven't you got the man you wanted?
That's the thing. You see how she fumbled through a stereotypical red pill talking point, body count. She stumbled through half of that. Like she really had no incoherent, concrete argument on why do men not like women with high body counts. Like this, literally, like you said before, that's a layup.
She doesn't know anything.
That is a layup.
She knows nothing about her own lane.
And so, like I said, it's like I understand. I've said it before. You know, some people, you know, are blessed to have certain aspects of life to where they're able to get to their point. But you got to get to that point. It's like the Ayesha Curry. Just because you got the camera, you got the views, you look good, doesn't necessarily mean that you're ready for the moment.
That is 100% facts. And
hey man, you need eight more likes though. You need 8 more likes.
Wait, we still didn't get to 100 likes? Did we lose some likes?
I guess my like. I tapped the like button. I don't know about anybody else.
We got less people watching than likes now. This is going to be hard to pull it up. I think we're pretty much done for now.
You blame her?
We need to get more likes on here, man.
I think as a Steph Curry, somebody that believes in their dream and who they are as a person, being that he's probably going to make $1 billion by the time he's done his career or shortly after with his investments. So being Steph Curry, you have to choose in a way where it's like you're choosing a girl that's content with who you are. Like LeBron James' wife is super happy to be LeBron James' wife and get attention from LeBron James and be posted on LeBron James' story. It's like she doesn't have that adoration for him where his attention is enough. There's something going. Those type of relationships I see and I cringe. I'm like, I don't wish these relationships on anybody. Your girl, there should be a level of adoration and fanness to her at least. Like it doesn't seem like there's any other.
Go the distance?
Huh?
You think they're gonna go the distance, or is she gonna do what his dad?
Hold on, his dad and his mother, they didn't make it. His mother belonged to the streets and she was doing all sorts of shit with younger players. And her dad, they got divorced. So her dad didn't pick right either. Or his dad. Why am I saying her dad? His dad. Jesus Christ.
I wonder.
You think she's gonna make the distance with him?
Yeah, I think they do because, like, if you really, like I said, you gotta really look at you have to really look at Aisha Curry like from a different lens. She is quirky, funny, attractive. I think Steph is just kind of like, man, I'm not focused on that. Now, when he retires, is he gonna make it? She will make it as long as he's in the league.
If he's not focused on that, he fucked up. Hold on, let me just say this real quick. If he's not focused on that, there's levels to fucking up that he's doing right now that he's not aware of. Because once you make these small problems, they'll begin small, but as they continue to persist, the disrespect gets bigger and bigger until you're just in a place where it's like you got to end it because you're gonna end up being Will and Jada.
It does escalate. That sort of stuff. When somebody shows you a little bit of disrespect, if you don't even bring that to account or address it seriously, it'll steadily climb to where now it's like it becomes unbearable.
But okay, let's be real. How much of a disrespect is it, man? Let's be real.
If my wife did that,
that's a lot.
Like, come
that's
on,
a lot. E. That's have standards. E. That's a lot.
I think she was being goofy and quirky.
Goofy.
So say a girl with a bikini came. Hold on. So say a girl in a bikini came in a room, and you with your boys, and y'all on live TV, and you start taking your wedding ring off. It's a different type of smoke you gonna get.
Oh, I didn't know.
But my wife know who I am. Like a lot of people don't understand. We all have different types of relationships. Like I tell people, my wife knows exactly who she got. So when it comes to certain situations, I'm not gonna speak on it. Like she know who I am, and sometimes it's just really that simple. I get it. Sometimes we get on our high horse and we say, "Oh, why is she doing this?" Maybe he's gonna, like, when he looks at it, he's gonna be like, "Yo, I'm gonna have to answer for this, but with your goofy ass."
Yeah, but why would you even want to deal with those types of situations in the first place? Like, oh, I got to deal with this now because you're acting a fool. You're a public figure. You have to understand who you're surrounded with because your brand could get destroyed at any time if you surround yourself with the wrong people. Especially your wife is your most important choice. And if she's thirsting for attention, there's a reason why. Like, I wouldn't entertain, I don't care how bad a chick thinks she is. If she's a public figure and she thinks she's out there and she's going to get my attention and it's not happening. I have a specific choice. That's why I call people simps all the time. If you're not really with who you want to be with and that person is detrimental to your career, your whatever the hell you're doing, then you got to reevaluate your choice in women. My girl has been on the podcast before. She's been on Blunt Talk with LT. She's not thirsting for attention. She doesn't want the world's attention. She doesn't need the world to see her on screen. She wants to live good and live the life that she wants. So it's like, I look at it and I'm like, you got to choose correctly whenever you're in these type of fields. It would be great if Steph Curry was like an average bench player and his girl was doing this. Great, more attention for us. It's like Ari. It's like Ari. Hold on. It's like Ari.
They met in high school.
No. It's like Ari Fletcher and what's her name? And what's his name? My bad. I keep calling niggas her. What the fuck's going on with me? Moneybag Yo. Moneybag Yo and Ari Fletcher have way more leniency and grace to do what type of fuckery that they do, especially Ari Fletcher, because he's not Steph Curry. He's not an NBA professional. There's things that she can get away with that people are like, it's not that bad.
She's not an NBA professional. Like, she's literally just, in my opinion, she's a glorified housewife.
Think about this.
She's a very glorified. Aisha Curry has, like, if she didn't have Steph, she would be a housewife.
But think about this though.
She wouldn't be thrust into the limelight. She wouldn't have the same issues. They met when they were you gotta understand. They met when they were teenagers.
But look at this. She doesn't act like she's Mrs. Steph Curry. You bring up that they met as she doesn't act like that. They met when they were teenagers. Look at Anton Daniels. Y'all know I do not like Anton, but Anton met his wife as a teenager. You want your wife to represent you the way Rita represents Anton. Yeah. You don't want her doing the most, embarrassing you, acting a fool, especially as a public figure where your image is your earnings. Why would you want to fuck up those bags?
But at the same time, Rita's not being thrust
It's
in
small
front of.
transgressions, man.
It's Rita's
Thrust.
not being thrust
You're saying
in front
thrusted.
of.
She's making the choice. Is Savannah James more? Is she thrusted in front of the public the way Aisha chooses to be? She chooses that. She loves the attention. She got up on a platform and said, Steph gets all this attention. It would be nice if other men looked at me. Why would you want your wife saying that on national television? Oh, I don't get enough attention. It's embarrassing. She came for girls that were wearing skimpy outfits because she wasn't getting that attention. The second she got her body in shape, she was in a bikini on Twitter, on IG. Like, come on, man. I see through all that bullshit. She's thirsty looking for attention.
She's not a wife, bro.
She's
She's not a wife.
No, she's a wife. She's just
by
a
definition,
wife.
by law. No,
bro, you gotta understand. She's a wife, but she's
got too much faith, bro.
She's been thrust into a different environment that her personality, her skill, her ability may not be able to handle.
Okay, so
she's never gonna get it right. She's never gonna get it right in the public eyes because she's not media trained like that.
Okay, so she's been thrust in limelight and she's been thrust with money. Do we give Steph Curry the same grace if he was caught with 5 white girls in a hotel on the road? Because we know they be at the hotel rooms. Do we give them the same grace? No, society won't give.
Exactly.
Come on, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Come on, bro. Bro, you just trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, man. You got to act accordingly no matter what situation you in.
I agree, but
I think she did. She is taking too much attention. She's trying to be at the same level as him as a public figure. I think what she really wants is that public figure in her life.
But why?
She wants it to be at the same level as her husband.
I think
which is competition, which is bad in a relationship. She should be co-pilot.
But I think but you got to understand, like Steph is going through his level of competition, and he can either go up or down based on the issues that he arises. Aisha is trying to do, if she wants to reach the same level, she's gonna go up through and downs, and I just don't think she's really good at that. I just don't think.
But think about it. You're saying that she's thrusted in front of people. She's not. Yeah, she's not good at these things. But why does she want to be so opulent? Why does she want to be out there and be?
Has a dream.
No, but it's like, what is her dream? She's not. She doesn't have any skills, any talents, any real desire. She just wants to be on TV. So she'll be cooking. She'll be talking on a platform. She'll do anything to be seen. And those aren't wife qualities. You don't want your girl just trying to be seen by the world. It's like, for what? For what? What talent? This is the Kim Kardashian shit. Oh, I just want to be famous because these other bitches are famous.
I know, right?
Yeah, it really does go to that. I don't know, man. I feel like maybe he needs to network or grandfather her into a position to where she has like a show or something. Maybe he can support that, but all of that behavior when it comes to pretending to pull off the ring, that shit needs to dry up.
Exactly.
Stuff like that needs to dry up. Give her a cooking show or something. Say, hey, Steph Curry's wife. Let her establish her own name to that degree.
She said her cooking show was her passion and desire. She dropped that with the views.
Yeah, her cooking show, and her I think they have a restaurant, but that's her passion. But you got to understand, sometimes those things change and the atmosphere changes. So like I said, you can take the ghetto. You can take the hood out the chick, but you can't take the chick out the hood, man. Or reverse what I just said. You know what I mean? You can't take. You can take
she
the.
Not her, bro. She ain't nowhere near hood.
But mentally, like
she ain't nowhere near hood.
Okay.
Okay, so
y'all, all right, y'all got it. Hold on, man. I gotta answer the call.
All right, yo.
I just say,
E-Black see red. Hold on. E-Black see flags. He thinking this motherfucker is Six Flags. Bro, get off the ride, E-Black.
Pause, sir. Pause. But yo, pause. I'm gonna react to something in the chat because the chat's been going off. The girls in the chat have been disagreeing fervently with what we're saying. But let's read one of these comments. Moxie says no one should take off their ring if they don't need to. That's very sus. But that is the point we're making. The point we're making behind Aisha Curry's behavior is there's too many incidents where she's misbehaving and disrespecting her husband for the clout, and we've seen her get the most attention off of things related to diminishing his brand and his name and his value amongst other dudes, because other dudes look at him and it's like, yo, like, you're going outside. LeBron's wife would never. You're losing respect amongst your peers. And that's never a good thing. At the end of the day, people could be like, oh, you don't care about what anybody thinks about you. It's just other people's thoughts. The way self-perception is formed in the first place, self-perception is based off of how you think other people think of you. So if you think everybody thinks that you're a weak little bitch, it's going to affect you mentally. So you got to stray away from those type of things and make sure that your life is all the way around solid. And it's not that serious when it comes to Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry because they are both goofy people. But nonetheless, what she's been doing has been disrespectful. And if Steph Curry's been doing that type of shit, or if a man's been doing that type of shit to a woman, we would hear a completely different narrative in the public or in the media.
Complete.
But like I said, man, sometimes you gotta understand, like you said with your chick, right? Like you brought her on this stuff, and maybe one day she says, you know what, I want to be on a talk show, The View. Oh, or whatever, The Real. That's a good safe space. You're around women, and she just fucks up, and you're like, bro, man, like you know how she is.
You said just fucks up like it's one time.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. It only takes one fuck up.
So you pulling the plug.
Like, this is the thing. If she
what's the recourse?
If she wanted to pursue a talent because she could sing, I would be like, you're gonna do every hook on my record. You can do whatever you want to do. You can be a star if you could sing. Like, if you have a talent or you want to do something that you're talented at, nobody's gonna stop you. But you also have to pick a woman that you know that's not gonna make a mess of your life and your lifestyle and the things that you're building.
So what you're saying is that you would just pull the plug, basically, hey baby, we tried this, but you keep fucking up, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It would have been corrected at that red table talk.
Yep.
We would have had one conversation at that red table talk. After that, hey, you know what it is. You know where I stand.
One fuck up, one correction.
Me and the family.
But she's goofy. That's the thing.
Well, be ungoofy then. Get ungoofy. Get ungoofy. You represent me. You're an extension of me. Whenever you get married to somebody, you are an extension of a person.
Exactly, and a lot of women don't understand that. They want to be the stars of the relationship. When their man makes more money and is carrying the load, feed into his stuff, help him, assist him. Stop trying to be the star. Not every girl's gonna be Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. Have y'all seen compliment what he does? Like, they should be able to play off each other when it comes to building an entire image.
But that's not realistic at that level. At a lower level, when we're talking about accountants and real estate agents, and we're talking average people, but we're talking upper echelons level of people where all flaws are going to be exposed and everything is going to be a big deal. So, sometimes I just don't think, like I said, regular people, not every regular person is meant for those moments.
Okay.
You have to
I'm about to
adjust.
cross-examine you. Do you see Vanessa Bryant acting like this?
Vanessa,
do you see Lauren London acting like
But we seen Kobe acting like it though. We seen Kobe getting dogged in the media because Kobe was the problem in that relationship.
Yeah.
And he corrected that. You had a point in the movie on Netflix where she CGI'd her and that guy having a kiss. She not playing about that, and her husband's dead. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. So wives and women of character act very different. And I see you over here trying to pull the string. It's bro, they act different.
I get it. Look, but can both things be right? Can we say that some people are not ready for the moment?
Yeah.
That's
the thing. She can be ready for the moment, but I'm not going to give her any grace or any pass for not being ready for the moment. She should be prepared for the moment. And that's why I say I blame Steph Curry, because Steph Curry should be nipping this in the bud.
But you gotta okay, all right. Well, have y'all seen the Netflix series Ozark?
Nope.
You gotta watch it. But it's a good thing. Well, basically, the guy was an accountant for the drug cartel, right? His wife, regular woman, she got excited because she was.
Go ahead, my bad.
But basically, she had dreams before they got married. She was into politics. She was into a lot of stuff. She ends up, getting married. Stuff slowed down because she had kids. She couldn't get back into politics. As he started climbing the ranks of being a drug dealer, she started getting her itch. So he was like, okay, well, I'm going to give you certain things. She started fucking up because her things that she wanted to do in life didn't necessarily match the correctness of what he was doing in terms of being a leader or being a part of a drug cartel. So that's what I keep saying is like sometimes you can't. We're trying to thrust people into roles or into jobs that may not necessarily be ready for it, and a backlash is on you, but it's not because they're a bad person.
You are
it's not
making
because
my
they
point.
don't love them.
You are making my point right now. You are making my point. It's not the fact that she's a bad person. It's the fact that she may not be the right fit. She's thrusted into things that she doesn't belong into. Why? Because she may not be the right fit. And sometimes you can leave people where they're at. So if you don't need, if someone,
but
if you're
love a person,
it doesn't matter
it's okay
though.
To fuck up.
It doesn't
it's okay
matter. It doesn't matter. When my exes left my ass or when I left them, there was still love there. It's life. Niggas got to move on. It's like, sometimes when it doesn't fit and it's detrimental to you, you're not like that's why I get annoyed with red pill talking spaces and some of the things that Pearl says, because she's like, and MLD and the whole you gotta endure the relationship. I don't believe in divorce. Fuck all of that. Somebody's not acting right. Somebody's not up to standard. Get them the fuck out of there. People do not want to live to any type of standard, and I'm not having that. Crying to me, nope.
A blatant disrespect, E. We're not saying she just messed up and got the copies wrong.
It's
on the project that y'all have to present.
Multiple offenses.
It's multiple shit, bro. That's blatantly disrespect of. Oh, bro.
She be fucking up. She be fucking up. I ain't gonna lie. She be fucking up. All I'm saying is that, I'm just speaking to the fact that, like I said, if I was to win $1 billion, that doesn't necessarily mean my wife is ready for that lifestyle.
I've been preparing my girl the entire time, all the way up to where we're gonna get, and she's been pretty much saying, like, look, I know, I understand. I've been understanding. Leave me alone. I'm annoying, like, you know what I mean? I'd be on her ass, but she knows, man.
Okay, I like I said, it's just, but you still gonna love that goofy ass girl though. That's my girl. That's my shorty.
You can't love a person past to the point where they're detrimental to you and they're fucking you up. And like academics let it reach to that point, and look what his girl did to him. Mm-hmm. She ruined his health. She doxed him. Who is this in the that just called up? This moving screen.
That's Christy O.
Christy O. Shout out to you. You called in before. I've spoken to you.
Yeah, I have. Okay, I don't mean to crash this whole thing, but I'm hearing a lot of unrealism. The young man in the middle, I think with the white shirt, I have to give him props. He's saying everything that is true and realistic. I'm on the thing. So let me say this. Ayesha Curry, people make too much of a big deal with this woman. And first of all, I had to jump on. I was in the middle of doing my makeup. I look a mess. I'm going to a Juneteenth celebration. So pardon if I look crazy. But I'm saying, honestly, there's a lot of men that would love an Ayesha Curry. First of all, I'm going to be real. Let me be real. Okay, I'm from Massachusetts. When we lost to the Giants, Giselle Bundchen was all over the internet talking about how the referees fucked up with Tom Brady. They didn't do the right call. You heard them talk about that for 2 days because she's a white woman. When Ayesha says something, oh my God.
That is not the same. That is not the same.
Let me finish because you were respectful. Let me finish. Thank you. They made a big deal. Ayesha Curry, I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of men that would love an Ayesha Curry. She's right. She's playful. She might be a little ditzy. She might clown. She was on the reel with a group of women. She didn't even take off the ring. She was pretending. And no offense, men do that all the time. That's a joke. No offense, I think people are jealous of this woman. And if you want me to be all the way real, you have a Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle, don't get mad at me, girl. But let's be real. Gabrielle, compared to an Ayesha Curry, many people would want an Ayesha Curry. Gabrielle says a lot. People know what's going on with them, with her and Dwayne, because Gabrielle divulges a lot. But people don't come at Gabrielle because she's Gabrielle Union. Let's be real. What I think, in my opinion, I probably shouldn't even say that. But honestly, the Gabrielle and Dwayne thing, you know, I don't know if that's an arrangement. I don't know what that is. But I do know Aisha and Steph, they are married. They're a young couple. You have to let them do what they do. Let them live the life that they're living. She's not over here talking about, you know, put it this way. I know that Dwayne Wade said to her, this is my house and I can kick you out. Nobody would never know that Dwayne Wade said that to Gabrielle if Gabrielle didn't divulge it. She said it. Oh, I will pay my half because you will never say to me again, this is my house and you need to leave. That's what Dwayne Wade told her. If you think everything with them is so perfect, I don't buy it. Look, Dwayne, look, bruh, we cool, but I will say this. There's certain comparisons that we're being very unfair and we're being very unrealistic. That's not, let's just say this. If you don't like your girl to have a voice, say that. LT, you're Jamaican. Maybe that's Caribbean. Hold on, let me be real. You Caribbean?
That's not voice, that's actions. That's not
You're Caribbean? You're Caribbean? I'm Nigerian. A lot of Nigerian men are like that. You want the woman to be behind you, don't say anything. First of all, that's some nonsense. Because my husband is an NBA player, people not supposed to know who I am. If that relationship works for Savannah, and LeBron, that's great. If you playing with my tie, girl, my cat. That's great, but not every relationship is like that. There are many relationships where the husband is successful and where the wife is successful. I don't have to walk behind you because you're an NBA player. I'm not supposed to have a voice. That's bullshit.
All right. So pretty much throughout your entire diatribe, you did nothing but make our point.
No,
you did nothing but make our point. I have never once said that my wife is supposed to be a mute. She doesn't have a voice of her own self. We never said that Savannah. We never said that Savannah was hidden in the background. She's opulent. She's just not embarrassing her man. She's not.
You said you like the way. You said she's not clamoring for attention.
She's not. But hold on. Hold on. Let me speak. How much is Savannah on the Shade Room? How much is she on all these other blogs? She's on there so much. LeBron, she's always on LeBron's story. She's very seen. It's the fact that she's not dying for attention. It's not like, okay, if she has something to offer, great. You can offer it to the world. Nobody's ever going to begrudge you for offering something great to the world like LeBron is. But the second you just want attention for being, to get the attention, the Kim Kardashian type shit, you know that's not a wife-worthy woman. Steph Curry and listen, you said you tried to put the Jamaican thing on me. I want my girl to be a mute. I told y'all, my girl has been on the podcast. She can be on the podcast anytime she wants. If she wanted to come on right now, she can. She doesn't care to. She's not clamoring for others' attention. That's what it comes down to.
I said you come from a culture that is similar to mine. I have a lot of Jamaican men friends. That's not pertaining to you. I said you are Jamaican. Jamaican culture is like African culture. You may not realize the way it's coming off, but for me, while I'm getting dressed for my event and I'm listening to you, it sounds almost like you're saying, when you say stuff like, oh, Savannah's not clamoring for attention, different wives have different positions. If you want to sit back and your husband's going to post you, that's perfect. But there are some women who, and then you said that Steph's wife don't have any talent. What? I mean, this woman she's been a chef, a cook. These are her own recipes. Her family recipes. Kim Kardashian, that comparison, that's very different.
Listen, if she has a talent to cook and she has a cooking show, she should be on that cooking show, which she is, and she doesn't make a mess of his. Nobody is begrudging her cooking show. She doesn't disrespect her husband on the cooking show. It's the other actions. You want to scapegoat all her actions and leave her unaccountable for the things she does when you can clearly see that she's a woman entrusted in a role that she has no business being in. I don't know how many more examples I can give. I'm talking about Aisha. I don't know how many more examples I can give of her doing the wrong thing while being in the limelight. You said many men would want her. Of course, many men would want her. There's levels to this shit. When you are at the top and you are that opulent, you have to handle yourself to a different level. You have to elevate your status and your decorum. You can't just get money. That's why E Black kept saying what he's saying. She was not ready for the position. She was not ready for this. Some people aren't ready for that. And that feeds into the point that we're making. You love the girl. You're enthrusted with all this feeling and emotion, but you're not thinking logically. And that's where I call people simps. When you allow a girl to be completely detrimental to your life, but because you love her so much and it's all this feelings, you're not in your logic at all. We outlined what happened with Academics. Academics' girlfriend pretty much effectively doxed him, talked about him having herpes, all sorts of bullshit, ruined his crib because that was the same girl that violated him publicly, embarrassed him on Fresh and Fit, and he refused to get rid of her. Why? Because of the goddamn love. There's levels to this shit when you're a public figure and you are a brand and your brand brings you money. You have to protect it.
Almost got him killed
Pearl
too.
did not realize that she had to protect her
LTT
brand. That's why Pearl's going the way she's going.
LT, hold on.
I hope that you're ready for-
LT. So what you're saying is that once a man upgrades and gets to a certain stature and level, he has to evaluate the woman that he's with based on.
No, she has to upgrade with him.
Nope.
She has to upgrade with him.
You have to have the confidence to know that you are going to be at this level. Pick good early. Find a girl that understands that early so you guys can make that step up. And if she can't keep up, she might get left out. The same way you might get left if you don't get to the level that you're expecting to get to while you're leading her. Life is not all participation trophies.
So when you're at a garbage man level, you should be trying to pick for somebody who's able to handle daytime TV.
No,
okay.
I think you guys are having two different conversations.
I hope that you're ready for a debate. You don't mind, LT? Hope you don't mind women coming up to disagree, because I would do this with my girl Yanni, who I love.
You can disagree all day. What the hell happened? Oh.
Hello, can you hear
Hold on,
me?
you dropped your audio. Hold on. Oh, god damn it.
LT, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Bro, y'all having two different conversations. I don't care if she's put up in that space.
Hold on.
She's carrying.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Why can't we hear Christy? I don't want her to think that we just sabotaged her mic, and then you're gonna get right back into your point, because we are kind of having two different conversations, and I'm seeing the deflection.
Two different conversations.
Christy, what's going on with your mic? The sabotage. All right, as you figure that out, 7N.
Just drop and come back.
Yeah.
Y'all having two different conversations. What me and LT is saying, I don't care if she was built for it, if she was ready for it. That don't change you having wifely skills to represent me the right way in the public limelight. Y'all trying to say you should silence her, she should be behind you, she should be on mute. No one is saying that.
Exactly.
The camera has been pinned on Vanessa Bryant, the camera has been pinned on Savannah, and they act accordingly to represent their man. Even Michelle Obama, she don't disrespect her man. The only time that we've ever heard her say some sly shit was she said she didn't love Obama for 10 years. Okay, I'm giving the main. I'm giving the main one. I'm giving the main one when she said she didn't love him for 10 years. But that happens, man. They've been married for so many years. There's gonna be times where you don't love that person, but you don't break up with them.
Yeah, but it's
in other cultures they stay together. In our culture, we just run away.
It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. It's not because what she's telling young girls is hold on. E, come on, man.
I'm sorry.
E, can I talk? Can I speak? What she's saying is, if you can read between the lines, just because you may not like that person once in a while, don't mean you break up. I seen TD Jakes have a sermon about that, where he told girls, go look back in the memory book of y'all having good times, because this shall too pass. You may do some shit that may annoy your girl. Is she just gonna break up with you? No. Because y'all in love. So that's all Michelle was saying. Hey, just because I didn't like him for 10 years didn't mean I need to break up my family.
All I'm saying is that, stuff is not as fluid as you guys think. You can't thrust everybody in certain roles and expect them to shine just like you.
But that's the
based
whole
on
point.
Based on your actions.
But that's why I keep
We're
saying
not trying to have her shine.
That's why I keep saying that's the point.
Just because I'm a superstar doesn't make the person who I love and who cares for me, who cares for my kids, who's indebted to me and who I trust with everything in my life, does not make that person qualified to go on daytime talk shows, do interviews, be on red carpet. Those are two different
Whose fault did I say it
Nobody's
was?
saying
But
that,
whose fault
bro.
did I say it was to begin with? I said it
Her
was
fault.
Steph Curry's fault. So if I'm Steph Curry and I
I'm saying
know
her
that
fault,
I'm
how
the
she
big
acted.
superstar, I'm media trained, I know how to do this. My wife is a goof. She's not able to do this. She doesn't understand that. Then as a man, I got to put my foot down and be like, look, you got to be a little more cognizant of what you're doing. You could damage the brand. This is like having a female Ja Morant as your woman. It's like as an NBA player. Like, you know how left it can go in the standards that you're held to as an NBA player. I'm seeing a bunch of people complain
She
and
didn't marry
argue
her, baby.
against
She did not
standards. It's like you
marry-
guys don't want to, you don't want people to be upheld to a certain standard. So you're like, oh,
She
they're
did
not.
not marry an NBA player. She married Steph Curry, who was a high school sweetheart. That's what you guys are missing.
Yes, but he was a high school sweetheart who was on the way to become an NBA star. His father, Del Curry, ex-NBA player, he had all the tools to make the NBA. She knew where she was going. You prepare for these things. You don't have it and dealt the entire way up.
She did her cause right.
It's like right now, I'm at 9,000 subscribers. I'm going to be at 100,000. We know this. We're preparing for this. That's
Say
why I
with
said
your
I
chest.
was an
Say
entitled
with your chest.
rapper, because I've been preparing for it my entire time. So it's not like it's going to be a surprise. And if she wasn't down for that and she didn't understand where this is going, then that's not my wife. And life is not as simple as people want it to be. And then what's your name? Christy, you're saying it's unrealistic. You're saying it's unrealistic, but we're living it right now. Me and E Black have two different ways of living, but we're both effectively living it right now. So when you're saying it's unrealistic, it's going on.
Okay, I'm gonna have to say, in my opinion, as a woman, the only woman on this panel, the young man in the white shirt would have a long relationship. And I'm just gonna say, if you want me to keep it real, I'm a woman, so we want.
Christy,
men
you're
can't
just
say
saying things. E Black, how long
Men
have you been with your
can't say
girl?
what-
E Black, how long have you been with your girl?
We've been together for a long time.
A long time means you've been together forever. You guys, we don't even know the name. I've been with my girl for a long time. Over a decade.
My girl for 9 years.
Over a decade.
9
So when
years,
people
you
say
counting.
shit, it's like, come on, man. You don't know me.
Yeah, 9 years and counting.
You can't take what I say personally.
I handle my because you're just saying stuff,
Just don't
Christy.
say it.
You're
No,
you're
I'm saying it.
oh,
Just
you're
don't
gonna,
say it.
he's a long time.
As a woman, I'm saying compared to me and my friends,
You can't be led. Just say it. You don't want to lead her.
Look, you can't take it personal. I'm sorry. That is
But you're
No one's
making
taking
it personal.
Stop
You
making it
made it
personal. You're making it
personal.
personal with Jazz.
honestly,
I'm married and known my girl for 9 years, and she was a virgin. She can say that. I can say that.
Okay,
Wait, she
well,
has to lead her.
I'm only directing this to E Black and LT. I'm not sure who the other young man is talking. Can't really see his face, but I know compared to me,
I'm driving.
Me and my friends, we would lean to what E Black is saying, because what he's saying, I said, it is realistic. When you use the comparison,
Because you're out of order. That's why.
Honey, you're gonna keep
you're out of order.
interrupting.
Okay, all right, 7-9. Let her talk.
No, because you're just saying shit because you're just out of order.
I don't even know who you are, honey. Please, I'm not even, no disrespect, I'm not really talking to you, honey. I'm really talking to LT.
I'm not being rude, but
because I can't really see. No, you are, honey. So don't every time you hear something, relax, babe. But when it comes in from my friends, what I hear E Black saying, we would be more inclined to listen because it's more realistic. When he used the example of Ayesha Curry on the reel, he was like, so you're just going to cut the relation off because she was being goofy? He was like, she was with a group of her girls, which she was. A group of women tend to act different on other women. Why? What kind of man? Why is she doing that? What's up with that? It's not a big deal.
All right.
And a man that loves her would be like, I don't know. That made me feel away. Can you not do that? He wouldn't blow up, and no offense, that's what it seems like you're saying you would do.
No.
You would drop a woman because she pretends to take off a ring. That's not a big deal.
No, I'm saying if there's multiple offenses that are clear indications of red flags, I would be foolish to not heed those red flags, because then I'll come to the internet crying to y'all about my bad decisions and being an unaccountable man. You're taking it from a female perspective. I'm taking it from a men's perspective, where we have to be accountable for all the outcomes. So doesn't matter if she's responsible for the breakup, I'm still accountable for the breakup, so I have to handle it in accordance. When we're talking about, you asked us somewhat personal questions about, or you said how long E Black, you're guessing E Black's been with this girl for a long time, and girls will be more receptive. Because you're saying, but you're saying women will be more receptive to his message. If women aren't receptive to my message, I don't care about those type of women.
I'm using me personally and my friends we would lean to him. What he
Are your friends?
Are you in a relationship?
Are your friends married?
No, we need to know
married?
this. We need to know this now.
Yeah,
My bad, 7-9. 7-9.
Let's
Let me
get
get
some
this.
backstory.
7-9. Let me get this. Are
All right,
your
man,
friends?
this easy work.
Are your friends in relationships? Are they married?
Yeah.
Are you in a relationship?
Yeah.
Are you married?
I'm not married. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Are you? I'm not married. I'm not. So I'm talking, I have my friends are married. I'm talking about what we heard him say. This is just facts. He made points that were realistic. If I see my girl doing that, she's on an all-woman show. She's goofy. And that's real.
You keep going to realistic. Hold on. I gotta stop you there. You keep going to realistic. I give you examples of people that did not heed the red flags, and look what happened to their lives. It was in shambles because they did not heed the red flags. And then you want to talk about realistic. They could be Will Smith and Jada in 4 years. And what would we be talking about then? Would we be talking about, oh, you guys ignored LT's obvious red flags, and he holds things up to a certain standard because he understands the game, but you guys just want everybody to have participation trophies.
I even heard some of the comparisons of women that y'all were using. I'm like, these women are nowhere like an Ayesha Curry. Let's be real. Let's stop. I heard someone bring up Ari Fletcher. I'm like,
we're talking about public. You got to keep it in context. We're talking about public figures in their said fields and how they can maneuver their fields.
Ayesha Curry, let me just say this. She has skill. She's talented. She's an intelligent woman. She's a smart woman. She may say things that other people don't like what she's saying, but the girl is a good wife. Let's just keep it a buck. She's a very
LT,
good
can I say something?
There was even a FaceTime. It was her and Steph and Dwayne and Gabrielle. And Gabrielle was fawning over them. Like, yo, I envy you guys. I wish that I'm like, don't blame her. That's a real. Sorry, I don't know. Look, you and Dwayne, that's what's up. But
there's a certain level.
She was like, wow, like I.
There's a certain level of. There's a certain level of the Currys that talk to the old school. You meet your high school sweetheart, and you grow with that person. And as you develop as humans, you're still devoted to that person. A lot of times we talk about relationships to where we're like, power couples. And I think that's the difference. I don't think Steph Curry and Ayesha are power couple types. I just think that they're just individuals that, hey, my husband or she's saying that my husband so happened to be the best basketball player in the world. And her husband, Steph, is saying, well, she's just a goofy chick from North Carolina.
What does that have to do with the disrespect, though?
That's the funny thing too. That's another thing. That's nothing.
You guys are just glossing over the disrespect. Like I'm like so
lost. Hold on now. And that's another thing. Our opinions mean nothing. Our opinions mean nothing. The only opinion that matters is Steph's opinion of his wife. What we call disrespect, Steph may not call disrespect. Let's be real. There are different types of men out here. Some men say, oh, I wouldn't allow this. Other men would say, I wouldn't allow it, but I would go about it differently. I wouldn't call the whole thing off. I wouldn't blow everything up. Like, let's be honest. And there are different types of men. And if we are offended or men or some men and women are offended about what Ayesha Curry's doing, that's unfortunate. She still has a great husband. She's still going to bed at night happy with her husband, NBA player, 3-time NBA champion. Go ahead, girl. I'm with you. Because we can.
Let me ask you a question.
4-time NBA champion.
Let me ask you a question. Is what Jada Pinkett doing out of order?
Jada Pinkett is an extremely different example. But Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, that's not even her.
But I'm asking you, as a woman, is she out of order? Is she respectful to her marriage and her husband?
Jada Pinkett has been out of order for many years, okay? The Jada Pinkett has been extremely out of order for over a decade, longer than that, maybe 2. So Jada Pinkett analogy with Ayesha Curry, highly different.
I'm not making that.
Hold on, let me finish analogy.
So what me and LT are saying to men that are listening, don't let it get to Jada Pinkett point and that shit in the bud and this nipped in the bud at the red table talk. I don't care how goofy you think it is. You're going to be real goofy out my life if you keep disrespecting me in the limelight.
That is the whole point. That is the whole
And I
point.
bet you, and I bet you, and I bet you your friends will be like, I respect that because you're a man that's
You're saying we're mixing it. I told you. How many times have I said? No, remember, how many times have I said? Hold, I don't mean to get aggressive and talk over everybody, but how many times have I said this is Steph Curry's fault?
Look, I get it. I get it. I understand.
I was gonna say something, but you can go first, honey.
But you gotta understand, Will Smith and Jada Smith have been married for how long? Long enough
since 1996.
So that's
97.
Like we're going on 17, 20 years now, damn near. So no matter what disrespect that y'all feel, Will Smith like that. He's devoted to that,
and he's a simp.
Okay, but that's him.
What are we talking about then? Why are we campaigning for this?
Because we just going in the circular conversation.
Even Clem D says, Clem D in the chat says, if a guy was damaging his wife's image by acting goofy and she was still with him, y'all would be having a field day. If Nicki Minaj's husband was still out here raping women and Nicki was still standing by him, everybody would be having a field day cooking this motherfucker. So y'all just want to make excuses for women at every corner, yo. Y'all are turning me into Fresh and Fit, y'all.
What about Bill Cosby and his wife? What about Magic Johnson and his wife?
Okay, what about them?
We don't care.
Those are all good. Those are all good relationships.
Those are
Magic Johnson. I done cooked Magic Johnson.
He's been
and is Bill Cosby
with Cookie for many years
or innocent?
Magic Johnson's been with Cookie for many years. Bill has been with Camille for many years. I mean, and then I think to quickly respond to that comment, you said that Aisha is making Steph look goofy. You said Aisha is messing up Steph's reputation. She's not doing a thing to his reputation. He is up there.
Then what are we talking about? What is this post? Hold on. What is the story? What is the story that I ran about Steph Curry and everybody clowning him on various social media sites? We have the Daily Loud. We have Say Cheese TV. We have Real Toronto News. We have Shade Room. What are we talking about? Why is this a news story? Why is this a story if it's not a big deal?
LT, you might hear something.
LT, let me ask you a question. You play sports, LT, right?
I'm sorry?
No, I said you might hear something that might make you want to, go in, but you just got to let me finish.
I can choose to let you finish, or I can be an asshole because it's my channel, but I will let you finish.
Well, I mean, okay, then if you want to do that, LT, I came up here to have an actual debate and be the only woman because I heard a lot of things that weren't real, that weren't true, that I disagree with. You said that she has an influence over his reputation. She does not do nothing. In fact, she makes him look good. It's only our people that are saying she's doing this. Why is she doing that? It doesn't bother him at all. At all. He is up here and it's not moving. It's not going nowhere. If anything, the fact that he's a married man complements the fact that he's also a champion. He's a law-abiding citizen. He's a good representation of a black man. She's not making this dude look no way. Now, there's other examples such as the Will Smith and a Jada that you can say, well, Jada makes him look a certain way.
But that's where it's headed. That's where it's headed.
And you're saying
that's where it's headed.
That's where it's headed. And I'm going to tell you, as a woman, to the person that I can't.
Yes, because you're coming from a.
It's not. Aisha Curry and Steph, they're not headed to Will Smith and Jada direction, and I can guarantee you that. If you're still alive,
I don't care if you can see me or not.
His parents, Del Curry.
What I'm saying, I don't care.
Del Curry made the same mistakes.
You said that they're headed that direction, and I'm telling you, I guarantee you, they're not. They're not. They're not.
I bet you if you just zip it sometimes, it got leadership, you would have been married. Because I don't want to hear. It does matter. You can be over opinionated. You can be over opinionated and look like an a-hole.
But it's not moving me. These are
okay. I'm speaking from a married man.
Allegedly.
And how many of you guys are married? Let's have that question. How many of you guys are married? How many of you guys are married?
Allegedly.
What's successful? How many of you guys are married? I don't.
Go ahead and say your point, sir.
You don't think I'm married?
Say your point.
Anyways, guys, this is coming from LT, me.
You don't need to say me and LT. Just speak for yourselves. LT's a grown man. You don't have to say me and LT, me and LT, me and LT.
We can give either red flags.
You Okay, well, anyways, I think that's all I want. You know, I just want to come.
Okay, cat lady. Okay, cat lady.
Whoa.
Right,
Chill.
Okay, cat lady.
Chill. She gave us some wonderful content. I love the argument. I love the debate. I got a little spicy for a second, but it's good content, man. We know what we're doing out here, man. We don't need to call names.
It's good content. It's content. We're regular people.
And the only reason why I came up here is because I rock with LT. And LT, I did want to talk to you about the thing that happened earlier, but not on here. But yeah, I came up here because, you know, as a woman who watches LT's platform, you know, if you, especially when we talk about issues about married women, there's going to be a woman that definitely has an opinion. And you can state your opinion, that's cool. But I don't have to agree with your opinion. You know what I mean? And I heard some things that I just severely disagree with. I think that Ayesha Curry's actually, yeah, she's done some things here and there that might make people roll their eyes, but nothing major, nothing near a Jada Pinkett, nothing near that. There are a lot of other women we can bring up examples that make their husbands not look so good. And I will tell you, Ayesha Curry, to me, is not even on my list for that. Not even close. I think we're ragging on her because she's young, she's bubbly. Both of them are very young. And I'm pretty sure, what's his name? Her husband has been caught kind of oogling other women as well. I heard.
Wait, when did that happen?
Women as well.
Here we go with the whataboutism. Here we go with the whataboutism.
Hold on,
Here we go with the whataboutism.
No Steph Curry, okay?
He is clean. We ain't gonna do no whataboutism.
Nothing happened with Steph. We ain't bringing that. If that has not, I have not heard that. I don't want this to be the first place.
Steph Curry, okay?
He is clean.
Ain't no. It was the article that Steph, when he was, you know, talking to another woman, it was all over the place. I mean, I follow these things and I work in television.
Okay, but that would be a big deal, right?
Yeah, it would be a big deal, but then sometimes they sweep things under. No, actually, no. When it's a man, especially a champion, they're going to sweep it under the rug. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Now, when Kobe Bryant got caught, that was a big deal because he got caught red-handed. So that was a completely different thing. But with the whole Steph and all that, they're a sweet couple. They're a sweet young couple. I mean, they're young. They're successful. You know, I think people are giving Ayesha a hard time for something that's not even that deep. So,
okay.
That's my opinion.
So I must say this. I respect you, sweetheart. If I ever disrespect you, my bad. So what I'm trying to say is, this can turn into somebody that you know that would say, you know what, I graduated from marriage because she never was maybe invested so much like how wives should be invested. So we're trying to save men from going into marriages when a girl 10 years later can be like, you know what, I graduated from marriage.
For me,
and you got to be strict with the red flags.
Yep, this is a channel of strength
I hear what you're saying.
and accountability. So
okay.
if we have standpoints or points that don't scream, this is a strong standpoint to take. This is you're in a position of strength, not crying and lack of accountability. That's the way. That's how I'm gonna always make all of my points. So that's why I make the point this way. It may be unfavorable to certain people that don't want to actually live up to that standard because it's not meant for their role, or they think it's too unfair, or whatever they may think or feel. I have to stand on these points because these points are important for people to be unaccountable and not crying after when they're blaming their wife for decisions that she made and be like, oh, she did this, she took my money, she did this. All the flags were there. The lack of respect we've seen for years, and you cultivated it into an environment that was detrimental to you, and you didn't want to take onus. So that's why I have these type of takes when it comes to Steph Curry. Am I saying Ayesha Curry? Am I saying Ayesha Curry is a terrible person? No. Am I saying that she's an awful wife? No. I'm just saying that there's red flags that could be detrimental to his relationship, and he has not been nipping them in the bud. He has not been giving her the media training and telling her this is not an appropriate joke because it looks a certain way and it damages the brand. He has not done that because he himself, as E Black says, is quite goofy. That's why I blamed Steph Curry. And I'm telling men, y'all shouldn't be following this shit. And girls, y'all shouldn't be following this either. You should not be emulating her activity. If you're getting to that level, you have to raise your standards. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hey, girl.
Hey, how you doing?
What up, Moxie?
What's up? So, yeah.
This is Moxie?
Yes. How's it going,
nice
to Black?
meet you. Nice
to meet you too. And LTTV and Christy, how are you guys doing?
Oh, she rolling up her sleeves. Let me cam off. Hold on.
Happy Father's Day.
I want Chrissy to say, "How you doing?"
Yeah, Moxie's
She
coming
got
with the
that
smoke,
voice.
yo.
I do have a very low monotone voice.
You gonna say, "How you doing?"
I'm not gonna say how you doing, okay?
Come on. Oh,
You
okay.
like, really? You're gonna dip, wow. Okay. And this is the man that you were sticking up for, Christy? He dipped. Once you know,
I think he turned his camera off. I don't know if he dipped though.
okay, don't you think that's even worse? That means he's listening from the sidelines.
I hope that's not what it means. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't know. Evelyn, what happened?
I don't know. I real quick, Moxie, before you go, LT used the point red flags. The term red flag is better than saying he should drop her, he should leave.
Yeah, no. This is the thing. Yeah, I agree with both of you in that.
I'll be back one
they
second.
They met very young, and it's a different dynamic. And they were high school sweethearts.
Yes.
And so, especially if she's a beautiful, strong woman, she deserves to have her own thing. It doesn't mean that she needs to sacrifice herself just to be on the sidelines for a man.
Right.
With that being said, Jada Pinkett doesn't have the best reputation.
No.
And so she that's what happened. Like, I kind of feel bad for her in that she got stuck in the mix.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
And I feel Jada Pinkett also too, she's been more vocal with her love for another man while she's married to another man, which is very detrimental with tearing your husband down. If you're continuously talking about how you're in love with another man, Tupac or whoever it is, how do you think that's making your husband feel?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Point is, so the point is that these are, Hollywood types. They're narcissists probably. And she wants to stay relevant. She doesn't want to be in her, in her husband's shadow. And that's a different thing, right? For me, I didn't get married in my 20s. I got married a little bit later in life. And my husband's an attorney, and I have my own career. I'm in commercial real estate. It's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
No, we don't have a prenup, but we're building something, right? So it's not like I'm high school sweetheart with, a multi-millionaire, basketball player.
Yeah.
My husband does well. So every relationship is different. I agree.
Yeah.
And every relationship needs to be handled differently. Everything, whatever works for you guys. There's some people that they hook up with other people, and they're swingers.
Yeah.
And that fucking works for them.
Oh,
That works for them. That works for them. Is it my thing? No, absolutely not. But
different type of
judge.
energy. Some people like to swap.
Everything y'all are saying.
We're not trying to. We're not
I
preaching that she shouldn't have this platform. We're preaching when she's on a platform, she does disrespectful, transgressional stuff. I think y'all having two different conversations than what me and LT talking about.
You know why we're struggling?
She could be sitting next to Elon Musk, but when you sit next to Elon Musk, don't disrespect your husband while you're sitting next to Elon Musk.
7N. You know why we're struggling? Do you know why we're struggling? Hold on. Let me tell you why we're struggling. Because we are trying to hold a woman accountable for her actions. That's why we're struggling. That's why we can't land the punch right now. That's why all the deflections are kicking our ass. Like, these things are what you guys are saying. These are great talking points for common folk, for the average person. When you are at a certain level, you have to elevate your standards and you have to move differently. And what she was doing was disrespectful. Is it breakup worthy in the moment? No. But do you heed concern and change your actions so it does not persist? Of course. And if you guys don't think that, and you're like, of course, these girls can have other things on the side. He's Steph goddamn Curry. You know how many, do you know his options? He doesn't have to be with an IE.
Hold on a second.
Come on, man.
But you know what? He did. And he got married early in life. And so now he has to pay.
That's why he needs to adjust his movements. That's why I'm saying he's at fault.
And I agree. But what did she do that was so bad? What did she do that was so bad? She took off her ring jokingly, or she really took it off? And that's like, what happened?
The red table talk is I wish I got attention from other men. The red flag. That's a big red flag. The only thing you need is your husband.
I really believe that's a red flag to say something like
and
that.
Then and then you faking like you're taking off your ring when a man come around. Moxie, I want to
Yeah,
see
that's
your
not
expression.
cool. Oh no.
Moxie.
I would love to see that. I'm going to watch that. I signed on because
Wait, did you see it?
okay,
Hold
I
on,
need to-
Moxie, you didn't
No,
see it?
I did not.
I'll play it right now for everybody because
Oh, yeah.
Moxie,
Okay.
Moxie, let me use this as an example. If I came in the room right now, shirt off with a drink, and you pretended to take off your ring, oh my God,
still here.
LT's walking behind me, shirt off. Is your husband gonna like that, or is that gonna be something looked at as a deplorable act?
Listen, my husband gives me a lot of leeway, but that's because I'm a woman that has gained his trust.
Okay.
He does not play with that, and he knows I would not play myself like that.
Facts.
Okay.
Yeah, you just played into E-Block. E-Block, you just played into E-Block's conversation that way.
We gotta stop the cap. If you and your wife have gone to a strip club,
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. We gotta get into reality. Like some of us live a different type of lifestyle in which
I haven't been to a strip club with my husband, but I've been to a strip club before. That's for sure.
But that's the point. Go to a strip club with your husband and see exactly how he acts, and you're gonna be like, oh, that's cute because
my husband's too cheap to be fucking like. My husband saves his money, and he's a very good investor. Yeah, he ain't gonna be playing himself like that. But yeah, no, I agree. Go to the strip club and see how your husband acts. You'll see what's popping.
Yeah, and that's the point. It's not we all. I just really believe that we all have like we're over analyzing somebody who's just really goofy.
I agree.
And got married young at life.
I agree.
And a goofy person does not belong in that spot. The same way
Hey, how about we all get on
goofy
the
ass
ride?
don't belong.
How about we all get on this?
Come on, man.
This ride.
Let's watch this real quick, y'all.
yeah, come on.
I agree with you, E-Block.
What?
Oh, see?
Oh! This is so old, though.
It's very old.
This is mad old. Like, she was just joking.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to hold on. So now we're going to it's old. So we're not going to deal with it. We're going to it's old now.
Why are we talking about it today, yo? So old.
Hold on a second, guys. Like, if it was real disrespect, like that was so corny. That was that was like fake.
Wow.
That was fake. I wouldn't do it in real life.
Hey, LT, we supposed to be dogs. We supposed to be dogs and giving men leeway. What the? Y'all really don't think that's disrespectful?
No.
That's like me. That's like me and you walking and a girl passed me and I turn my head and look at her ass. That's what that looks like.
Whoa. Hold on. That's not the same. That's not the same. Why? Because my girl allows me to do that because she's looking at the ass too. That's not the same.
We both do it.
Thank you.
We both do that. But LT. But if you're outside looking in and I don't know your relationship, I'm gonna be like, damn, he mad disrespectful looking at another girl's ass.
See,
if you're outside looking in,
outside looking in, you still wouldn't get that because there's a way we do it. I don't break my neck looking at any girl's ass. She looks at the ass, confirms, taps me. Hey, you look. We got some cheeks on that one. And we look together and we observe it. So from the outside looking in, it still wouldn't look bad.
Okay, it's totally different than even this. This was obviously something that was done just for clicks.
Okay.
But why? Wait, hold on. If it's done just for clicks, we have single women on the panel. There's another married woman next to her, Jeannie Mai. She ain't acting like that. The only person that's acting somewhat close to her.
Jeannie Mai is married.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's another married woman. Acting like that. And then they got a single woman in Tia Mowry, who's recently divorced. Tia Mowry's the single woman. She should be acting like that. The married woman should be acting like Jeannie Mai's acting.
That's Tamara.
Well, you know what?
But that's Tamara, not Tia?
No, that's Tamara.
Whatever, they're twins. Tamara, yeah.
Yo, I've been getting cooked by twins all day. First Jason Real and his twins, and that man.
He's married to the white guy. The other one is married to the black guy. Yeah.
Okay, so Moxie. Okay, so Moxie, say that was you, and let's role play. I was your husband. If I said, "Hey, I felt disrespected, and I don't want you to do that again," what's your response?
No, I would be like, oh my God, baby, I'm so sorry. Like, what's going on? Like, I can't believe it. Either I would be like, come on, I can't believe it, or what really did you feel? But I would be woman enough and mothering enough, right? Because us women are kind of like mothering to our significant others, and I would be like, oh, I would talk things out, of course. Of course, of course. As I would expect him to do for me. You know, you gotta do that. Why? Do you have footage of Steph Curry going up to her and being like, "Hey, you disrespected me"? I mean, show me that footage, please, do, because I don't think it exists.
7-9, I think that was a really good question, because that is very important. How, when you address the issue, how the woman responds to the issue is also something that you consider when it comes to continuing that relationship.
And
So
if you bring it up and you feel like she's dismissing your feelings, you got one more chance to dismiss my feelings before you get the boot to the door. That's how serious relationships should be to each other, because I should not ignore your feelings as a woman.
Now what if the same situation
And when
happened?
you want to be in a successful relationship, you take each other's feelings. Right?
Yep.
What if the same situation happened and he's like, "Man, you know I'm gonna have to answer for this. You know they're gonna be grilling you." And she's like, "Well, you know, I was just in the moment. I was having fun."
Yeah,
and
like
they both and they just walked away from it. But everybody on the outside is saying, "Oh, you got to divorce her. You got to do this. You're not a man. You did." It's like, come on now. Like,
I don't think
sometimes we put 2 on the 10.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit like, look, this is a non-factor in terms of relationships, in terms of a lot of things. Like, in my honest opinion, I understand.
You're saying it's a non-factor, but if it's a non-factor, why this is not an issue that's covered strictly by the red pill, the manosphere space. It's literally everybody from every thought. Goddamn.
Okay, wait. That's been canceled, and I don't remember seeing that. It's now that people want to bring it out, and they have a certain narrative that they want to push for whatever reason. Because why wasn't that going viral when this show was even on the air? Like, The Real has been canceled for quite some time.
This isn't old. This isn't old. This is not The Real. This is Girl Chat. It looks just like The Real, but it's a rebranded, refurbished. We trying to stay on air, but we trying to change the.
No, that was The Real. That's The Real.
Then why does it say Girl Chat?
No, Girl Chat was a segment on The Real.
All right, I'm stupid. My bad.
I've seen LT.
Thank you. You see? That's why
I've seen.
And I'm glad that Christy's here, because, like, yeah, because this is a problem that I have with the media.
And that episode specifically was like about 4.5 years ago.
There
almost
you
5
go.
years ago.
You see that The Real has been canceled for over a year now.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how all of a sudden
I've seen LT hold men to the same standard of.
Oh no!
I hold men accountable. That's why. Hold on. This is why I do a solo show and I don't actually talk to the girls while I'm trying to hold them accountable, and I don't argue with women on the panels, because it's impossible. It's literally impossible. I will do it when I could say it and nobody's there to challenge the points, and I'm stamping it and hitting all sorts of drops, and I'm like, yeah, mission complete, nigga, and we done the episode. But when y'all are here to come, man, I ain't landed nothing.
I'm not mad at LTTV. I am a fan. I am here just to say hi and just, give a certain other take. That's all.
Okay. I tell men all day, do not argue with women. You will get nowhere fast. We can debate and have a debate, but even that.
But it's just about stating facts. Don't you think it's interesting now that you know that this was filmed 2.5, 4.5
With the context of 4 years ago, I don't give a damn about none of this.
Why? But then think about it.
I'm not making this a clip anymore. It's 4 years ago. Why is everybody reporting on it? All forms of media reporting on it, and it's 4 years ago. I'm not running this story. Then I really don't care. This is like a Me Too from the '60s. Like, we don't care, man.
That's what I'm saying. But hold on a second. But why do you think that is? They want to push a certain rhetoric. That's what it is.
I think.
Christy is silent right now.
Yeah, Christy, you're mute.
I'm sorry. And
Why is she being?
No, go ahead.
Why is she being the chess piece for it to be pushed like that? You get my wife up there, she's not acting like that.
But I was gonna say, I think
she's not about to take.
When did you get married? What's your name? The gentleman, the other gentleman.
I've known my chick since she was 21. We got married last year, but I've known her since she was 21. So that's 9 years.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
I'm not new at
relationships. And I wish you many years of
Thank you.
success. I'm a married woman myself, and look, it takes work and it takes a lot of love, for a successful marriage. So congrats. But yeah, it's a different thing in that like they got married like very, very young, and you don't know the dynamic, and he's traveling a lot. Maybe she needs some attention. Like, I don't know. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. At the same time, I thought you guys were saying she really took her ring off. She was going out. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, oh, hell no, that's fucked up. Now that I know more context, it's a different story. I think it was probably not the wisest PR move because he's a superstar. But that being said, I think it's harmless.
And I think part of
you could be regular. If I catch your ass dancing and twerking on a couch at brunch,
No,
that's your ass.
No, that's even worse.
It could be regular.
I think part of
twerking and dancing on another man is that's ghetto. No.
Yeah.
None of that.
I think part of the disdain that people have, for her is the media. Like LT, you just said that you're just seeing this clip now. So there's also an agenda on, sometimes married Black women. Once you get a name, people try to push a narrative.
What is that?
Is that Transformers?
Someone called. What is that? Hold on, everyone mute.
I'm on mute.
Chrissy's on mute right now. Yeah, Chrissy, you're muted. You muted yourself.
Oh, Moxie, your voice is... What's going on?
Is it bad? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's you.
Yeah, I think it's you.
Yeah, this is still bugging out. I don't know what the hell happened.
Is that better?
No. Give me a second. No, it's not you. Wait. Okay, I muted you and it's not making the noise anymore. So I guess it is. Unmute. Yeah, I think you might have to drop off and come back on, if anything. But this was a great conversation. I think we're going to wrap it up with technical difficulties. That's what happens every time. We get technical difficulties. We can't work it through. Let's just wrap this one up, y'all. We have a lot more to speak about later, Moxie. I think Christy left as well. Shout out to...
LT, I was talking about the geopolitics you was speaking about whenever you and that other guy was talking about Anton or Dr. Phil. I like how y'all got in depth to that. And I learned a lot from you guys. So that's why I was saying, can you do a more in-depth video about geopolitics?
Yep.
So we can be more informed.
Yep, that's why I've been trying to build the members up for, so we can speak about topics that aren't so trendy. So we have to cover the stuff that will make us live in the algorithm. So we can definitely have those more of those discussions, because those discussions are more interesting than the random celebrity news discussions.
You had changed my view on that whole immigrants and working class. Y'all definitely schooled me on that one, so I appreciate that.
Hey,
No
LT.
problem.
LT.
Yep.
I'm having a panel coming up on Tuesday, and I'm keeping it a secret who my special guest is going to be, but I think you'd be great for it.
On Tuesday, what time you want to do it?
It's going to be, I want to say 8 p.m. Eastern.
I got you. I could do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, but who is a special guest? Someone I don't fuck with?
No.
Oh, okay.
You trust me, it's gonna be dope. It's
special guest Anton Daniels.
No. Actually, it's a female guest, but she's been making waves lately.
Okay, cool. All right, so y'all definitely hit you up. Shout out to everybody that called in. Shout out to Moxie. Shout out to Christy.
What's your email?
My email is lyricalthreatlt@gmail.com. I'll put it in the.
Is it in your chat? Is it in your channel thing?
It's in my channel thing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pull it up and then I'll send you the email.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, this was a cool conversation. Although we disagreed on many points, I understand what you guys were talking about.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. Blunt Talk TV is in there.
Wait, Blunt? What's in there?
Blunt Talk with LT.
Oh, at Gmail. That's one of my emails too. I have multiple emails, so that one works. That one's better because it's not so crowded with fuckery.
Okay, that one is.
Okay, there's blunttalkwithlt@gmail.com or there's lyricalthreatlt@gmail.com. The one that's linked to my channel, I'm not sure because I have too many browsers open, but one of them are linked to the channel. Regardless, whichever email you use that's linked to the channel, it's one of my emails, so you'll be good regardless. But I could just send it to you.
Yeah.
I could send it to you in the Discord. I'll do that in the Discord right now.
Yeah.
That's
And then, like I said, I'll send you who it is, and trust me, it's gonna be a dope conversation.
Yeah. All right, cool, man. All right, so we wrapping up this episode. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you're not already notified at all the live shows. We're going to be right back at it. More panel discussions, more debates, more women dodging accountability.
Just like a woman.
Damn it, we have Chrissy in the back. I'm trying to make points without you guys challenging me right now. What's up, Chrissy? We wrapping up the show though. We dropped all the callers. We're gonna be back tonight, hopefully.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you for calling. Even if we disagree, it's okay. It's always a good conversation. I won't diss like I did last time.
Okay, thank you for saying that, LT. I appreciate that.
All right, so we wrapping it up.
Right.
We out.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so what I was referring to when I said this, I pulled that big dog type shit. Like, this is my platform. I don't gotta respect folks if I choose not to. That was low. That was pretty weak. So I'm not gonna do that again. It is what it is. We're having a conversation. I don't need to do that. But we out.
That's all, folks.
You know what, Christy? We were going to have this conversation. We were supposed to off air. You said that was hurtful. I'm sorry about that. But you didn't believe me when I was telling you shit in the Discord. Those one-word answers, you were not buying it. And I was telling you the goddamn truth. We can talk, though. We out.